I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. Just fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay. Hey, everyone. How are you? Streamlabs is in the house. Haha. It's Streamlabs' birthday. Or maybe it's Lewis's birthday today. So
Do you share a birthday with Streamlab?
Yeah. You probably didn't know that. But thank you guys for joining us tonight that's coming in. We have a packed full live tonight. So in a few minutes, we're just going to get to it. And thank you guys for coming. And Lewis, before we get started again, happy 50th birthday. And what did you do for your birthday today?
Nothing eventful. Today was a busy day. I was running around all day. Too much stuff going on to even try to explain, but yeah. But,
From one party to the next.
I wish. Just the normal things you've got to do during the day for life to exist.
Did you get any gluten-free birthday cake?
Yes, actually I did.
Good. That's all that matters.
It was a cinnamon swirl crumb topped gluten-free
Yum.
cake. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stop by in a little bit to pick up my piece.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drop them in the mail for you guys.
Yeah, well, happy birthday, you old fart.
Thanks.
50.
I did find something at the store today to go with it that was really good. It was a peppermint mocha whipped cream.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
It actually tasted like you were eating mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Yeah, it's not exactly one I strive to have, but it sounds lovely. I mean, my
It was
twin
actually good
sister,
on it was good on the cake.
yeah, my twin always liked that one, like that.
Be a good stripper name too.
He meant a SA adult lady or exotic lady.
Are we not allowed to use that word either?
Lady of, I don't know. Turns yellow almost all the time anyway, doesn't matter. Anyways, so let's give some shout outs. Callie's in the house. Hey Callie girl, how are you? Thank you for those info bits that you sent, and anyone else that does as well. Thank you guys so much. Austin's in the house. Happy birthday, basically saying celebrate. Lewis, of course. I'm not sure who Lewis is, but he's in the house somewhere here. So hey Jill, hey Shelly. It's a cramming shames in the house, obviously. Kyle Davis, how are you? We'll come back to you in a sec there, Paladine, and that comment. Sharon Parker, how are you? Hi Jatters. Yeah, Miracle Hearts. And do. He didn't do my dishes or take my kids, that's for sure. Well, that was his birthday present to himself, not to do that. Hi, Sheppy. There's CD buddy. Hey, buddy. At Paladin, you keep the sheath. Do not stab yourself with it tucked into your sweatshirt or jacket. To me, when he pulled the knife out of the sheath, it was done aggressively and landed on the bed. Yeah, we'll come back to that topic in just a little bit here. Bass Girl, how are you? Hi, Heather from Sweden. No, that's Heather. I thought it was Heather from Sweden, but it's Heather Swensden.
I remember we decided it was Bass Girl because of the guitar.
Yeah. Well, that's right, not bass. You're not a fish. Unless you do this with your lips on your Facebook. Deb's in the house. Deb from True Crime Notebook. Auntie M. Hi, Auntie M. Regis, thank you for sending me that email today or yesterday as well. Thank you very much. And oh, and then Callie, and then I think that's everybody right now. Anyways, okay. 41. Is there somebody else that's live right now? We're only 43 people at the moment. Did did the notifications not go out? Who knows? I don't know. Anyways, let's just quickly go back to Paladine's remarks. So Paladine said that the sheath was found 3 days after the by the second evidence team sitting on top of Maddie's bed. If he left the knife sheath, he didn't even need to bring one. What does that mean? He didn't even need to bring one. If he left the knife sheath, what does that mean? He didn't even need to bring
Um,
one.
I'm going to say, Paladin. I'm reading the affidavit right now, and it says that this officer was there at 4 p.m. on the 13th, and he says that when he entered the bedroom, as I entered this bedroom, I could see two females in a single bed in the room. Both Consalvis and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. So
Yeah, so I don't know where you're getting about the 3 days after stuff, because obviously if there's bodies there that day, that same day that the team came in at 4, that's not 3 days later. And that would be very absurd if it was 3 days later.
yeah, it just says it says the sheath was later processed and had a K-bar and USMC United States Marine Corps Eagle globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
and so then CD, hey CD bud, Paladine, you would keep the sheath, it in the sheath, right, to not stab yourself when it's tucked into the sweatshirt and jacket. To me, when he pulls out the knife sheath, it was done aggressively and landed on the bed. Probably one of those things, right? You think he would? I don't know. I just don't understand how he even left it there. But you know, people do the stupidest things and then they get caught. So let's see here. Hi FP, how are you? Paladin, he wasn't part of the evidence recovery team. He was doing the initial work, right? Walkthrough, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So as long as we cleared that up there. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to start. So I made a video and I never had time to like re-go over it. So if there's any little bloops in it somewhere, forgive me. It took a lot of time. I've been working nonstop all day on videos. And if anyone's a YouTube
let someone else. I did nothing. I did one video and that was it.
Was that it? Okay. I think I barely even noticed that you did that, to be honest. I remember, I think you sent me something and then I was like, oh, I'm going to make a clip of that. And then I think you uploaded it, but I had to wait for mine to, it said copyright. So I had to go back into it and take out the music for that, or part of it anyway, and stuff like that. So anyways, and I think it was kind of like that piece that you had sent me or whatever. Anyways, again, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to play this video first. So chill back with us. It's 17 minutes long. It's going to cover and update some cases going on. And then we're going to get into the Idaho right after that. And that's what we're going to do. Hi, Mike McCormick. How are you? So you got a fire and a space rocket. So you're hot and you're from outer space? That's how I'm going to take that. That's what I'm reading into it.
That he's got fire crotch.
Okay.
See how people can read things differently.
I know. And yeah, I know, right? I like mine better. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to play this video. And like I said, it's going to update you on some of the cases out there that we've been following and that we've showed you on here as well. Okay. always do that wrong. I always hit share screen when I mean to hit video file. Okay, let's see here. Is this the right one? Yeah. This is Sunny Justice with It's a Crime and Shame. We are going to give you some case updates and information of events that we have been following as well with regard to some other cases that are going on. We appreciate your support for the missing and the murdered. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking this video. We are going to start off with the shooting that happened in Lawrence, Indiana. This next clip is about a 6-year-old boy that took a gun to school and put it in his knapsack that his mom had recklessly left out in the open for this child to take to school, and ended up shooting a teacher while the other kids were around 6 years old. Anyways, let's get into that clip, and here is the update.
Crime Friday in Newport News, Virginia. Police say a first grader shot a teacher on purpose after an altercation.
Mrs. Zwerner was providing class instruction. The 6-year-old child displayed a firearm, pointed it at her, and fired one round. There was no physical struggle or fight. She suffered a gunshot wound, but she was still able to get all of her students out of that classroom.
Police tell CNN they have been in touch with the parents.
We determined that the firearm was in the residence where they lived, and the child had obtained that firearm, placed it in his backpack, and brought it to school.
The teacher, Abby Zwerner, made it from the classroom to the main office despite a bleeding chest wound, according to a grandparent who happened to be there and administered CPR to the teacher.
She came into the office saying that she had been shot. She had blood on her hand and blood on her shirt, and she said that she had been shot. I don't know if she fainted, but she had fallen to the floor.
Here's what one 8-year-old experienced in another classroom.
We all stayed quiet. 2 people were crying. I will help them. And when the cops came, we were marching to the gym, and we were all safe.
A SWAT team secured the school. No students hurt.
But I can tell you that the individuals responsible will be held accountable. I can promise that.
The teacher upgraded to stable condition. The suspect taken into custody.
We need to keep the guns out of the hands of our young people. These are the things that happen when we have access to weapons.
The police chief, Steve Drew, has just told us that the child in question who fired the shot is being treated at a local medical facility. When we asked the chief if the parents would be charged in the case, the chief kind of dodged that question, said they need to get more information from the investigation, talk to the detectives, talk to the Child Protective Services people, and to the Commonwealth's attorney before determining whether the parents will be charged.
Okay, so another heartbreaking story. Anna Walsh, the wife of Bryan Walsh, disappeared on New Year's Day, January 1st of 2023, leaving behind 3 children. Now, it is undetermined whether or not she is missing or murdered yet, but with everything that is being shown, it is more than likely that Anna, they're just a matter of time before they find the body for Anna. So let's watch this news clip and to keep you up to date again. Very sad indeed.
Tonight, investigators processing potential evidence collected after hours of searching through garbage late into the night at this trash transfer station north of Boston. Law enforcement sources told CNN materials found included a hacksaw, torn up cloth material, and what appears to be bloodstains. The Norfolk District Attorney not commenting on the specifics of what was found, only to say the search resulted in a number of items which will now be subject to processing and testing to determine if they are of evidentiary value. Sources also tell CNN investigators found disturbing searches on Bryan Walsh's internet records as they looked into the disappearance of his wife, which included how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body and how to dismember a body. Walsh is being held on a charge of misleading investigators. He pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors described chilling details during his arraignment of what they say investigators found at the family home in Cohasset.
During that time, they found blood in the basement. Blood was found in the basement area, as well as a knife, which also contained some blood.
Walsh's attorney not commenting on the case, her office telling CNN she wants to focus on Walsh's defense. During his arraignment, she said her client is cooperating with investigators.
Mr. Walsh has given several interviews. We have consented to searches of his home. We have consented to searches of his property.
Bryan Walsh told police he last saw his wife New Year's Day. A friend of the couple says the last time he saw them, nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
We hugged and celebrated and toasted and just what you do over New Year's.
The 39-year-old mother of three wasn't reported missing until January 4th, when her workplace said she didn't show up. Investigators discovered her husband made purchases at a Home Depot on January 2nd.
He's on surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops, T-Vex, drop cloths.
Anna Walsh's friends say they now fear the worst.
She would not, by her own choice, go a date without speaking to her husband or children. Like, that's very out of character.
Jason Carroll, CNN.
This next story is so tragic. A 7-month-old child named Harmony Jones is now deemed as the death of being a homicide. Let's listen.
Give her maltreatment. 25 were declared homicide.
This next case is a case of Maladina Kojakari. This is a heartbreaking story as well. This is an 11-year-old that went missing, last seen on November 21st of 2022, and the parents didn't even report her missing till December 15th. Missing Madalina Kojakari, investigators issued search warrants for the missing 11-year-old's home phone records. The redacted search warrants were issued for Madalina Kojakari's home address in Cornelius. A North Carolina judge on Tuesday ordered the unsealing of search warrants related to the disappearance of 11-year-old Madalina Kojakari. The redacted search warrants were issued for Madalina's home address in Cornelius, a suburb north of Charlotte, where she lived with her mother, Diana Kojakari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmiter. Search warrants were also issued for Madalina's personal items, vehicles at her home address, and phone records. Mecklenburg County Judge Carla Archie unsealed the warrants after WBD Chief Investigative Reporter Nick Oshner petitioned the court to release the documents. On January 6, the Cornelius Police Department asked the public for any information about any sightings of Diana Kojakari or a light green Toyota Prius between November 22nd and December 15th in North Carolina to narrow down the timeline of her daughter's disappearance, which remains unclear. Both Kojakari and Palmiter have been arrested and charged with failure to report a missing child to law enforcement. Madalina's disappearance was made known to the police department December 15th when Kojakari told officials at Bailey Middle School that she hadn't seen Madalina since November 23rd of 2022, according to an affidavit filed with the Mecklenburg County. Bailey Middle School resource officers, along with the school counselor, attempted a home visit to the Kojakari's address December 12th, after Madalina had not shown up for school since November 21st. No one answered the door, and the school counselor left a truancy package at the home. On December 14th, the middle school counselor called Diana Kojakari and requested a meeting on December 15th. Kojakari apparently stated that she would bring Madalina to school the day of the meeting. The counselor told investigators, according to a probable cause affidavit. When Kojakari arrived to the middle school December 15th without Madalina, she told school officials and local police that she last saw her daughter go to her bedroom the night of November 23rd around 10 p.m. after she and Palmiter got into an argument, court documents state. On November 24th, Palmiter drove to his relative's home in Michigan to recover some items. Kojakari went in her daughter's room at around 11:30 a.m. the morning to discover the 11-year-old was gone. She waited 3 days until November 26, when her husband returned home to Cornelius to ask if he knew where Madalena was. Palmer told his wife that he did not know where Madalena went and asked her the same question in return, according to the affidavit. When the detectives asked Kohberger why she waited until December 15th to report her daughter missing, the mother said she was worried it might start a conflict between her and Palmer. Palmer told investigators he believed the last time he saw the stepdaughter was nearly a week after he left to visit relatives in Michigan on November 24th, potentially extending the date of Madalena's last known whereabouts. The stepfather also told investigators that when he asked his wife if she was hiding Madalena, he did not get a straight answer. Madalena's family penned a handwritten note expressing their concern for the missing 11-year-old that the CPD shared with the public December 22nd. Madalena is a beautiful, smart, kind and loving 11-year-old girl with greatness in her future, the family wrote. We are desperate to find her right now. She needs all of our help. The search for Madalena remains active and ongoing. The FBI is assisting CPD with its search. Madalena's mother and stepfather are being held on $250,000 and $200,000 bond, respectively. Authorities are asking anyone with information about Madalena's whereabouts to contact CPD at 704-892-7773. And in some older news, Lewis has turned 50 today. Happy 50th birthday, Lewis. Love all of us at It's a Crime and Shame. And for everyone that loves you, thank you for all that you do. We appreciate it. Hey, everybody, and don't forget, Joe Johnson that comes into our chat, he's going to be playing live January 14th from 7 to 11 p.m. at the Mooresville American Legion at 350 East Main Street, Mooresville, Indiana. That's the Whiskey Brothers, January 14th from 7 to 11. Joe, all the best to you. Have a party. Have a blast. Thank you for letting me know this so that we could acknowledge it. For anyone that wants to go there, there you go. Live music. Okay, there we go. See your little birthday sparkle.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so again, that was just some of the things that we had been following and showing on here, and just to give you an update.
Good video, Sonny.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. As for the Madalena, the video shows the 21st. They said in the article the 22nd, but the mom said 23rd, something like that. So regardless,
who knows?
They didn't even, because she said she was going to go to the school, to meet up with that lady. And they didn't even, of course, Madalena wasn't there. That's December 15th is when they reported her missing.
Right.
How?
The 21st would have been, I think the 21st or 22nd was the last day she was in school.
Yeah. How?
It was
21st
Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, the 21st there was in that video that they played of her getting off the bus.
So that's the last confirmed sighting.
Yeah. So December 15th is when they reported her missing, because she was supposed to meet up with the counselor, whatever, at school. And of course, Madalena wasn't there. Right. What is it with this crazy world and people having children? And this child, I didn't even know this until I heard it again, had a twin. Yeah. No, not Madalena. Sorry.
No.
That was from the other story. That 7-month-old or whatever it was the 7-month-old had a twin.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Like, what is wrong with this world and people? And it's just so disgusting. Like, as a parent, it just angers me so much that this is happening to these innocent little children. And
I know one thing with Madalena, is that they were on Thanksgiving break after, the last time she was seen on that bus.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the first day back to school was supposed to be, I believe, the 28th of November, and the family said they were on vacation that week. That's not really been publicized in the news. I do know some people that work at Bailey Middle School, which is where she went to school, and so it wasn't out of the ordinary that she was not at school, and until the 5th of December. And as of then, the 5th of December is when the school started to, she wasn't there. So they have a policy of the next, they do a call. I think it's 3 days later. They take it a little bit more seriously. So, so then, that would have been the 6th or 7th. And then about a week and a half later, they kept just pushing off like the meeting with the counselor or the resource officer. Yeah. And then that the school are the ones that contacted the Cornelius Police Department.
Lewis, what are you drinking? Iced tea, Sharon says.
Usually, yes.
Like today?
Yes. That's usually it's either iced tea or hot tea or water, one of the three.
This is Adam, of course, in front of Amada Elena's house, home, as he lives near it in a sense, or his parents live near it. So he had stopped by. So I'm just going to hit stop screen for a second. Oops. And let's just video file here. Okay, so I'm quickly going to show this here. That's Adam.
Here I am outside of the house.
Boots on the ground, I'll tell you.
Lived 18413. Everything is quiet as of right now, but as of 11 days ago, there was a search warrant issued and executed on the 21st of December. A nice house.
Yes, Ray. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, Adam, you are no Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. I had to struggle to hear your voice there.
Well, sorry, I apologize. So, and I didn't send you the one where I was in it. So.
I know.
But I did. It was hard to tell, but when you pull in this neighborhood, the backyard, I was trying to get a good view of it, but those shrubs you see on the right hand side of the screen, they extend all the way. The backyard was all fenced, and those shrubs are really high all the way to the back. Yeah. But when you pull in this neighborhood, I mean, it's literally, you pull in the neighborhood entrance, and it's the very first house on the right hand side as you're driving in. So it's not concealed. So I sent Sunny a few pictures, and then one thing they really haven't that was from the outside of the house when I was there, and then I noticed they had Christmas lights up, which I thought was interesting. That clearly they found time to decorate, even though I don't know when they put them up, but yeah, you can see them there. And then if anyone Google Earths the address of this house, you'll see something that they don't really report on, but the house the neighborhood they live in is adjacent to the largest lake in the largest man-made lake in the state of North Carolina. And so I mean there is a huge body of water within walking distance of the house.
Yeah. Crazy. So it's one of those things though, Adam, is that okay, so let's just say the 23rd. Let's use the 23rd as the last time she was seen. So December 15th is the time that she was reported. So out of everybody, I guess, like I said, nobody was aware of it. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's one of those things. I get it. Cause if you don't visit your family often and they're not going to be thinking anything about it. Cause they're not even going to know, obviously the school was, being concerned, and had gone out there and left, what was it? Some sort of, what was it called? This
truancy package.
Truancy package. Yes.
Yeah.
So, very sad case.
Yeah.
One that we'll be covering as well. And so
Yeah,
so I want.
I have two friends that are on the Cornelius Police Department force, and everyone's being very tight-lipped.
Yeah, so hopefully we see some resolution for all these cases. Madalena, Anna. It's just so very sad. At least with the Idaho case, we have Bryan Kohberger in jail. There's quite a few things there today that I've been sent. So I'm gonna go to Ethan's parents that had put out a message probably about, I don't know, earlier today at some point. Anyway, let's see here. Let me just go to my pictures. Whoops, wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Oh, this one. Sorry, this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna read it. It says here. Hold on. Let me. Sometimes I like to bring us off screen so it's bigger to the people so they can see it too properly. Okay, so it says we've spent the last 8 weeks, besides the obvious, focused on Maisie and Hunter. Cards, talks, walks, hikes, tears, you name it. Yesterday, we successfully dropped them off back at the University of Idaho. Hunter was very glad to be back at the fraternity, and Maisie was warming up to the idea, but it is so good to hear all of the girls squeal with delight upon seeing her. It's such a. It did this mama's heart good to see just to sorry to this mama's heart good to hear it. The support from the University of Idaho and the MPD ISP have been profound. Maisie and Hunter are rock stars, and we couldn't be more proud of them. Their job now is just to be kids, start where they left off, keep goals and aspirations in mind. Oh my goodness, this is so sad as I'm reading it. For an update, anything Ethan has had is now frozen with the defense. For us, it involves two vehicles, meaning Ethan's belonging to a nice set of golf clubs. We met with the prosecutors, handled media inquiries, hopefully respectfully, managed grief, talked, and continued to try to process our new normal. However, nothing has changed. We spend no time being angry. That would be energy not well spent, and it still wouldn't change the outcome. We have to look ahead. What we've confirmed: Ethan is who he was because of our family. His foundation was unwavering. He was so loved he didn't know any different. He was profoundly supported, and our family of five was different than others and so very special. He loved unconditionally. He was loyal to all. He was inclusive, carefree, happy, just the best person you could ever meet. The stories are endless and amazing. He touched lives and we had no idea existed. Ethan was incredible. We did a great job. We will still do a great job. And as always, we are eternally grateful to so many of you. We can't possibly reply to all of your notes, but we read them all. And your kindness and support means the world to us. And I shall allow the memories to prod me into doing better with all those still living. Nicholas P., Walter Stove, Jim, and Stacy. Okay, so oh, yeah. Oops, sorry guys, I accidentally took down the picture. Boom, boom, boom. I meant to come back to the live on there. Okay, there we go. Okay. You know how you're reading it and then you're just picturing Maisie being dropped off and these girls squealing to see her back, yet this big chunk is still missing from their hearts, and yet life still goes on. And as time goes on, as the weeks, months, years, whatever, just a little, it's not that you forget, but it just gets a little bit easier to cope and deal with. But as I'm reading it, it's just, again, when you're a parent or just a caring human being, it just eats at your heart that you're having to read this. If anyone doesn't know by now, Ethan was a triplet. Ethan is a triplet. Hi, Diamond Eyes. How are you?
Right. And like I said, and knowing that that his siblings were on the scene that morning, like we've said, that the black SUV or gray SUV, the dark gray one, or I think it was black. That's Ethan's sister's car.
Okay. Yeah, Ethan's sister's car.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was that, and then there's this that was out today. It says murder by JB, and it says murder suspect Bryan Kohberger wasn't known by any of the 4 victims, according to the lawyer for the Gonzalez family speaking to Fox News. Based on allegations, the question is what brought Kohberger to the King Road residence on November 13th. Should that actually be true and come to fruition? So, oops, why do I keep taking it down? I got too many things open here. So again, I mean, that was put out today as well. And, to me, if there's no, for me, like I'll ask Adam and ask Lois here, and you guys can say what you think in chat as well. I don't know that he knew them, or they knew him as much as he was preying on them. Now, I still kind of feel like what I've kind of thought myself, which was that he was looking for victims, looking for a sorority, looking for girls. Like he was stalking out the areas, found them, that home, whether it was through a social media, I don't know. If that's not true, that that they didn't know him,
Right.
maybe one of them snubbed him still, and
doesn't mean he didn't know them.
Right, exactly. Doesn't mean he didn't know them. I still kind of feel like that he chose that particular home with those girls in it. Like I said, whether it's because somebody snubbed him or whatever, or maybe because was it Bundy? It was a Bundy that went into a sorority, or because he was doing a Bundy thing, and he was trying to, you know what I mean? He was trying to pull a Bundy, basically. Moved to Idaho, tons of sorority places, tons of college and sorority houses and stuff like that. And maybe the purpose of it was he was just checking out around, and that house was the target, based on the facts of, a bunch of girls live there, and he doesn't. I feel like he's angry towards females or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Nope.
I think I mentioned last night or the night before, whenever it was, that I think if he didn't know them or if they didn't know him, he either came in contact with one of them in person or on social media and found their address that way, or he found them because he wouldn't have come by that house in any unless he'd had a known associate or knew someone that lived somewhere. And I said the other night, if he did, maybe he knew someone in the apartment complex. Who knows? But that would be the only way I think that the house would have been the target. Is that he would have noticed them if he had known someone that lived in one of those places around the house.
Mm-hmm.
But just
whatever,
my theory.
I mean, we'll see if it comes to fruition or not. Lewis, you had made a comment earlier today. What would be your speculation if it's the fact that they'd say never knew him, but he'd say he knew them, perhaps? What's your speculation?
Well, in the very beginning, when this first happened, my thought was he was connected to the house in some way. Not particularly the people that live there, but maybe there was some encounter with the house, or he came there for a party at some point and something happened. I think the house was the connection, not so much the girls that live there. But as things went on, I started to change my idea on that. But I still go back. I think his connection was the house. I don't think it was so much the girls. And that's just a gut call I've got from what I saw in the beginning.
When you say the house, as in the fact that just some females lived in it?
No, I don't. not in the same light that you see the house. I don't think it was a, Bundy type thing. He was looking for a sorority house. I think that at some point or another, after going out that way, or even before he went to school out there, he was out there for some reason. Maybe he was invited to a party at the house, earlier on, or maybe somebody in the neighborhood where he was visiting, or isn't there a frat house across the street?
Down the hill, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm thinking that something attracted him to that residence for one reason or another, or maybe he even read something about somebody that was in that house before, which I mentioned earlier, the one roommate that is no longer with us. Maybe something there set off a buzzer in his head. But I think for a long time, he's had this planned out in his head where he wanted to commit this type of a crime. And when that house connected with him, he was fixated on it. And that's why he kept going back and back and back. I mean, I can't really explain why. I don't think it was related to the girls as much as the house, but it's something that stuck in my head in the beginning. I went away for a while, but I still keep going back to that, and I don't know why.
Now, Adam, I can't remember the name, but it was like something Allant. Who was the one? Wasn't there a girl? Remember, there was a friend of theirs that had died. Hunter and Anna. Yeah. And no, go ahead.
Yeah, and the girl, and she never lived in that house. That was previously when Madison was her roommate.
Right.
In a dormitory.
I mean, he might have known somebody that lived right near there, or in a house close, and knew of that place because he went to go visit somebody else there. I wonder if he's going to use that as his theory to them why he was there 12 times.
And if anyone that was ever in that back parking lot ever, they would easily. All you have to do is pull into that back parking lot. You have a bird's eye view into 3 college sorority girls' bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Oh, which reminds me on that. So let me just play something quickly.
I think kind of what we're all saying is similar. And none of us know. He could have met them at the Magic Creek. He could have met them at at the place in Washington.
Oh, sorry, oh, okay,
you can interrupt me with Nancy Grace anytime. It's fine. Ooh. But just really quickly, or he could have just, he could have had an associate or someone that he knew that lived in that apartment complex. You see those 2 buildings that are in that apartment complex that it kind of looks like one, but there's actually they're 2 buildings and there's a walkway between. There's actually, I think, 3 or 4 actual buildings, because on the other side of them, there's actually another one, and then down the hill there's actually a little bit another one. They're all part of that same complex area.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just quickly play this, because as you say that, that reminds me, Nancy Grace is in Moscow, Idaho, if anyone doesn't know that.
Oh my gosh, I'm on my way, gotta go. I
know, right? She did have a Twitter post that basically said, hey, we're out here. Is there any questions? And I sent 2 questions. But anyways, so I'm just going to quickly play this. Hold on a second. There's a couple pictures of Nancy Grace, and then there's a video that she did as well while she's there, okay?
Copyright.
Nope.
I'm here behind the murder scene right now, and you can see straight into the girl's place. This is the parking lot we've been hearing about right behind their home. I mean, it's right here. It's a lot tighter and a lot smaller than you think. And just looking up here, I feel like you can see straight into their home. These girls never had a chance against a predator. I'm here behind the murder scene.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me
Nancy and I have the same mind.
What?
I said Nancy and I right on the same page.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
You hadn't seen that?
No, I didn't think I should follow her on TikTok. I didn't think about it.
Oh, or in our Twitter?
Oh, was it Twitter? Okay.
Yeah.
I got TikTok in my brain.
Yeah. I mean, I was sent it, and then I went. Someone sent me something from Twitter? I think it was Callie, and then I went over to her Twitter to see what else that she had there. Oh, it was a picture, I think. And because I had seen one the other day when I knew the other day she was going to Idaho. So when somebody sent me a picture, I was like, sweet.
Now I follow her.
Oh, there you go, Nancy. Yeah. One of these days she's gonna come on this live, and get jealous people. One of these days.
When we meet at CrimeCon, she won't be able to control herself.
Right?
She's gonna have to. She's
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring her a root lift spray and tell her it's gonna be good for her hair.
Yep. Exactly. We'll give her tips and tricks and all that good stuff. And she's gonna thank us.
I know some people don't like Nancy Grace. I like strong women.
I mean, I get voices can be, but there's some people's voices, and I think that's always what struck me. Sorry, Nancy, I don't mean to say this, but I'm not talking about myself, Nancy, but some other people have said the voice. Some people can find, claws going down a chalkboard when they hear her voice, or whatever. But I don't care. I like her too. I like strong women. I like strong women that way, Lewis, happy birthday.
Well, what's Lewis supposed to say? I don't like strong women.
Right. Okay.
I read Ray Jones. I get it. Ray, because
so
I can make that happen for you, Ray.
He likes strong women. Okay, let me just hold on a second. Let me right here. No, hey, where'd they go? Okay, so just so you can see those pictures a little bit better, right there. Look at those green gloves. Look at that.
We don't see anything, Sonny.
Oh, did I not share with you guys? Oh, hi, Lewis.
First time.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. There we go. You guys can see this now, right?
She got a table this whole time. Yeah. Brian Hinton's had to stand. She got a table.
Yeah, she's camping out. She's gonna probably sleep on that table. Yeah, she's got a map going on there in front of her. Like I said, there you go. Nancy Grace in Idaho, Moscow, at the house. Let's see. I would like to see that friends list on that phone. Is what I would like to see. I'd like to see who's in there. Okay. Anyway, so there's that one there, and this one here with her producer. Notes. Oh, iPad. Yeah. And then this one here. Creep vibes. When you see it like at nighttime like this. And then this one here. Definite creep vibes. So yeah, those are the pictures that Nancy had on her Twitter that Adam didn't know about. Good thing that I follow her. But anyways, so let's see here. There's a few other videos that I want to go to. I gotta go back over here. Now, Regis had sent me one yesterday. And so where's the link for that one? Let's see here. Copy, paste. Let me just put it into a different link here. Okay, because there's a few things. Let's see. Okay, this is about a former friend reacts to Kohberger's arrest. So we'll watch that one.
Welcome back to the program. So we know the suspect was a criminal justice major. We know he was pursuing his PhD. We know that he had postings talking about he wanted to know why criminals do what they do, but who really was this suspect? So we wanted to bring in someone that knew the person in a prior life. I want to bring in someone who knew him, the suspect personally, Rich Pasqua. You worked with him for a period of time. Rich, what can you tell me about the suspect? What was he like?
He was just your average guy. I met him through some friends, and they told me that he was a little weird, and he was a little socially awkward, I guess you could say. But he wasn't a bad guy. He needed a job, so I worked at a pizza shop at that time, and they were hiring. I said, "Yeah, come on in and apply," and he did, and he got the job. So I worked with him for a little bit, but he was quiet though.
What was conversation like with him?
What was that?
What was conversation like with him? Like when you talk with him at work, would he look you in your eyes? Did he have friends? Did he have a girlfriend at the time?
It was so long ago. It was like 2013, but he didn't have a girlfriend. I do remember that. And my wife went to school with him. They graduated together, and she doesn't remember him ever having a girlfriend, and I don't remember him ever having a girlfriend. And he didn't have many friends, so he would do anything to fit in, and would do he just wanted to be liked by everybody. But he wasn't a bad kid. He was all right. And I knew his sister. I went to school with his sister, and I knew his father worked for the school, and I believe his mother did too. But his family, they were all nice people. And, his dad was always really nice to me, very polite. But I never thought that he would do something like that.
Good copy. So we've heard from some people that surrounded him that there may have been drug use in his life prior as well. Did you know him to use drugs or anything like that, sir?
Yeah, he did use drugs. That's how I really know him too. He was a big heroin addict, and so was I. I got 6 years clean now. I work in treatment and everything, but back then I was using, and so that's how I know for a fact he was using. I've got high with him a couple times and used with him. And I remember one night we went out and his car broke down, and his dad had to come out, and he got pretty angry because his car broke down and everything, and we couldn't get what we needed that night. I knew other people that dealt drugs, and we would deliver drugs to him a lot. And so that's when I heard about this case. I haven't heard from him in so long. And then I heard about this, and it said that he was going to college. I said, I haven't heard from him. I guess that's what he's been doing. He must have cleaned up. I know he was in and out of rehab a couple times, but he really did. He cleaned up and was going to college all these years.
Rich, I'm short on time, but I got to ask you one last question. We've heard from people that he had a track record of being inappropriate, borderline offensive to women. Did you ever see that in any of your interactions with him and interactions with women?
Not in my time knowing him. I've never seen him ever act like that towards women. I've never seen him come off that way ever towards anybody.
Yeah. Rich, thank you so much for joining the program. I'm sorry I'm short on time. Hopefully he'll come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to support.
Okay, so there's that there. So what did you guys think of that?
It completely was on par with when CD and I talked to his friend that he went to high school with. It was everything that he said was pretty exactly on par with what we were told by his friend that we spoke to that he went to high school with.
Yeah. And has anyone distinctly asked one of their friends if they've known him to have a girlfriend?
Yeah, he did have a girlfriend. Yeah, his high school friend told CD and I that after he lost the weight, he gained he gained more confidence, and that he did have a girlfriend at the end of high school, or by the end of high school.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm going to go out to the side here. Let's see here. We'll get to chat and questions in just a bit.
And I believe CD is going to put out a video on not to spoil, but from the interview that we did with that high school friend, I think CD's going to put together a little video with that. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. Alrighty. Yeah, you heard it here first. Even if you
Sorry, CD.
I don't know. Okay. So this is Maddie Mogan's Dad Speaks. Again, I think Callie sent me this, I believe. And I'm just gonna play that as well. Let's see.
Describe Maddie May, it would be just an angel, and that she just made me proud.
Ben Mogan speaking about his daughter Madison to ABC News and describing the moment law enforcement told him they'd made an arrest in the case.
And he said, Ben, this is the day that we've been waiting for.
Ben also describing his emotions while reading the evidence law enforcement say they had gathered against Kohberger.
I broke down, and I just cried. I could only take so much of that, and I cried. I still haven't read the rest of it. If I had one or two words to describe Maddie May, it would be just an angel, and that she just made me proud.
Ben Mogan speaking about his daughter Madison to ABC News and describing the moment law enforcement told him.
If I had one or two words to describe Maddie May, it would be just an angel, and that she just made me proud.
Ben Mogan speak.
Oops, sorry guys. I had to listen to that a couple times. Sometimes I don't realize that that's already looped on there. Just listening to him speak, you're just so sad. His eyes, and like he had said too about the affidavit, I could only read so much because this is their child that you're reading about and what happened to them, and you have to have that play in your head. It's just so sad. Like, imagine like our sadness doesn't even compare, of course, to what they're feeling. Right, just watching him, it's so heartbreaking that we sit there and look at Bryan Kohberger, and he's the one that's accused of doing this. And I agree with the fact that everything that kind of makes it to documentaries and news is always about like the people, like the serial killers and stuff like that, instead of the victims. And so people will always remember the names like Bundy, and the BTK and stuff like that. But in all honesty, people down the road, they're not going to remember usually the names of these victims, but they're going to remember the serial killers or the person in the high profile cases and stuff like that, which is actually very sad. What is CD's channel? CD's channel is, I'll drop the link. Analysis.
I dropped it.
Oh, did you? Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put it up.
You can't drop your own, but you can drop somebody else's that fast, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you guys.
Just like you, I support other people before myself.
Yeah, and Deb knows that she can drop her channel. And just so you guys know too, in the description of this video, just if you guys do want to follow, I've added Deb's notebook page that you can link to from the description of this video or this live here, which will turn into a video. And you can go to mine and Adam's TikToks and Instagrams. Also, when Streamlabs drops the WLO link, that's the one that has, you can subscribe to the channels as well there, as well as in the description of this video. The WLO link is that one link, in a sense, or that one spot where you can go to the different links. You can go to the merch site, you can go to the PayPal, you can go to the buy a coffee.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, the OnlyFans, yeah. You can go to my memes Facebook page, you can go to the Just Gas Lewis and Sunny Facebook page and the channel and stuff like that. But so on that particular link, it houses a bunch of links, and I'll soon be adding the TikTok and the Instagram to that link as well. Yeah, Absolutely, Deb. Again, we only recommend whenever we talk about channels, typically it's only ones that we really recommend to go to because those are the ones that we deem, at least from the ones that we watch, or some of the ones that, like we kind of know and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of channels out there that I've maybe heard the name, but I don't necessarily watch them and stuff like that. There's quite a few that I don't watch. Like I've heard of 10 to Life. I've watched her maybe once or twice. I've heard of Mob Crew. I've literally watched the person maybe once, twice maybe. I've heard of Tyler Feller. Never even knew about that name up until oh, why am I having a brain fart?
Gabby Petito, or
Yes,
Kylie.
Kylie. Thank you. Until
Crime
that,
Sleuth and Hey.
yeah. I don't really know a ton of other true crimers. I really just worry about this channel and in coming to know friends like CD and stuff like that, along the way. And Deb, obviously, if anyone doesn't know, was on the It's a Crime and Shame. And Deb's working on her channel. Adam is from It's a Crime and Shame still and will continue to be. But as well, Adam has his own channel, which is Aspen Connor. And again, it's just about supporting each one, especially with the true, kind, caring individuals. And it will always remain that way. So check out those links in the description of this video for those extra ones that were added. And I'm going to show I'm going to show that thing today, Adam, right now, and Lewis. Again, we've got a lot to go through. This is about the Bryan Kohberger apartment warrant sealed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, amid threat to public safety.
This was interesting to me.
Yes, CD.
So I can't hear everyone's thoughts.
Yeah. I can't really get it any bigger than that besides me screenshotting it and that. So I'm not really going to do that. I'll just go to where it is. But it's, let's see here. It's not very long. Oh, and there's,
my girl.
Nancy Grace there. Yeah, with her. Don't forget to check out her podcast. So basically it says a judge has sealed a warrant pertaining to the search of accused University of Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger's apartment. According to News Nation Now, the document's contents will remain private until March 1st. Police have searched Kohberger's apartment in Pullman, Washington, which is 10 miles from where the 4 college students were murdered in November. Per the Daily Mail, the courts have sealed the search warrant and its contents as contents pose threat to public safety and to the privacy of witnesses, victims, and victims' families' names in the affidavit. Premature public disclosure of the details of this law enforcement investigation will create serious and imminent threat to effective law enforcement and could result in premature end of this investigation, the document also stated. A week earlier, a gag order was issued which prevents law enforcement investigators and attorneys from disclosing details regarding the case. Kohberger, a PhD criminal justice student of Washington State University, is believed to have turned off his phone during the November 13th murders. However, police claim he visited the area 12 times before the slaying. The probable cause affidavit alleged that the campus police, Kohberger's college, alerted Moscow, Idaho, police to his white 2015 Hyundai Elantra, which apparently resembles a car seen at the victim's home around the time that they were killed. Surveillance footage reportedly showed a white four-door sedan, but it did not capture its front license. At the time of the killings, Kohberger's car was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require front plates. Kohberger was arrested on December 30th after a cross-country trip with his father from the Idaho to Pennsylvania. During his trip, Indiana police pulled over the pair twice. Sources claim the FBI requested the traffic stops to view possible injuries on Kohberger's hands. And then, of course, Kohberger was extradited to Idaho on the Thursday. He remains in jail. So we thought it was odd. So, like I said, a CD's in chat maybe knows this one, or even Lewis here. Per the Daily Mail, the courts have sealed the search warrant and its contents pose a threat to public safety and to privacy of witnesses, victims. Okay, threat to private safety. Where does that take me? Does it take me anywhere? So what does that mean exactly? We thought it was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, because I found the part where it said, the public safety, of course, to be highly interesting. I also found the part, and I can't remember the wording exactly, where it said into the investigation to be an interesting, and we know, of course, a journalist writes this, and sometimes they misunderstand, and they, we don't, so I found that to be an interesting thing when they said, a premature into the whatever I can't remember the wording, and I can't read it on the screen, but did you leave us, Sonny?
Yeah, I think I did because I was using my straw in my drink and getting the last part of it. So I didn't want you, so sorry.
Premature public. What does it say?
It says, the search warrant as it can, and its contents pose a threat to public safety.
But could you read the line right before that? Per. No, who does it say per?
It says per the Daily Mail. The court
okay.
Yeah. It says premature public disclosure of the details of this law enforcement investigation will create a serious and imminent threat to effective law enforcement and could result in the premature end of this investigation.
Yeah, that's what I found to be the most interesting thing in the whole thing. But then when I saw where it was from, I was like, okay, so is it nothing or is it mean something?
Yeah,
because we all know the Daily Mail doesn't have, they're not 100% on their track record.
Lewis?
Yes. I've been trying to find that document so I can read it, because trying to follow what is being read is not giving me the easiest.
Yeah. Well, CD would know. He said, but he just said witnesses to call 911, but...
So, Crime Sleuth, that is a paragraph that's quoted from the motion to seal the warrant. Okay. Sorry. When I saw according to the Daily Mail, I was like, well, but that to me was the most interesting line in the whole story.
Hey, Crime Sleuth. There's 89 people. If you guys can make sure, here, I don't like to be off cam when I'm asking. If you guys can make sure you like and share, and possibly subscribe if you're not subscribed. It's honestly about the algorithm. So, and bring awareness to the missing and the murdered always, of course. But the algorithm really needs some serious helpage. Is that the best way? Serious helpage. Maybe it could cause a riot if people knew. Well, I'm kind of waiting for CD to see if CD answers. Aspen Connor, yeah. Do y'all want me to email it to Sunny? Actually, go ahead. If you could, Crime Sleuthin, email away.
Yeah, I would like it as well. So Sunny, if you'll forward it to me after, she can email it to both of us, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to read it for myself. I think I have it somewhere. I'd have to find it.
Yeah, well, that can come down. I'm just trying to, you guys. I'm just looking at my things here for a second. I'm just trying to see if what else there was here.
It's funny when I search my files now, I have so many PCA documents from different cases that I'm like, okay, I have to weed through them all. I need to start titling them certain things.
Yeah. I think I've done pretty well here, to be honest.
Right. And CD, no, this is the search warrant for Bryan's apartment in Pullman, Washington.
Yeah.
This isn't for 1122 King. This is for Bryan's apartment.
Okay. So CD says that's a search warrant for the house after the bodies were found. Remember, the 911 call is going to be very detailed and multiple witnesses spoke on it. Okay. All right. Thank you, CD. Yes, I do. And let's see here.
I'll throw a little bit of info in there that I gather from reading this when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the end of that paragraph where it says, and the privacy of witnesses, victims, and victims' families' names in the affidavit. So it's referring directly to the names that are in the affidavit. So I'm wondering if they found some connection of what he was following on his devices, and they put that into the warrant as to what they were going to search in the house. And I wonder if he was keeping tabs on who he was following. So if he was stalking one or more of the girls that were in there, I wonder if the warrant was specific on pictures and things that actually identified the girls and things that they've done in their lives, and to protect the family and the memory of the girls. There's things that are mentioned in there that maybe they don't want public. You don't want to put a bad light on the victim, because then you'll have that group of people out there that start victim blaming, and that's something you definitely don't want. And then on top of it, to add extra stress to the families.
Yeah.
Hey, CD, I think you're pocket blocking people. So yeah, he realized it. Okay, sorry.
What was that?
I saw that CD had had deleted something. I was like, oh, I think CD accidentally did that, because I know CD and I know he and I read the comment. So
okay.
sorry. I've done it before too.
I'm just quickly screenshotting these on there. Okay.
And you're getting Messenger, Sonny. That's the bing, bing, bing.
No, that's me screenshotting.
Oh, that would drive me crazy if I had those sounds on.
Yeah, well, I tell you, there's too many that go off.
I had to figure out how to turn them all off of my new computer, because the text messages, the Facebook messengers, everything. I'm like, nope, can't handle all that. I need a 5-day grace period.
What am I showing here? Am I showing the screen right now?
Yes, you are.
Oh, I didn't realize I was. Okay. That's not what I wanted to show you. Stop screen.
Good thing it was that and not something else.
Oh, because I thought that was this program here.
Sorry.
Now
I've got a frog in my throat. I'll be right back.
You got a frog? I got a snake in my throat.
Yeah, vegetarian frog.
Yeah. Right. Let's see here. Right, CD. I got a snake in my throat. Where is it? There. Where did CD say? I think it was up here. Doink. Hey, Lewis. Where is that coming?
Lewis is muted.
Lewis is deaf. He's probably talking and going, what?
I've heard it happens at
Yeah.
50 years old. The hearing goes.
Yeah, unless he had to go somewhere and just didn't tell us. I don't know too. CG, absolutely. It's about character and true friendship in order to share a channel. Truthful and trustworthy creators.
Oh.
That's right. Truthful and trustworthy creators. Underline, underscore, ding, 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 ding. People will stab you in the back at any given time.
Yeah, and Deb is correct. I've heard that as well, and I've also heard that Deb herself may have a list of potential victims. But that's speculation again on my part.
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry, something is making my phone overheat, so I was trying to close out whatever apps might be open in the background to see if I can keep it from.
I didn't realize that I affected. Shut up. I didn't realize that I affected your phone from over here in Canada like that.
Probably. I think it's all your fault.
Yeah.
Damn it, Sonny. We have to time our jokes so that it's one after the other. We don't.
Go ahead. I know. You can say yours now. Well, it's probably not the same.
No. I already said. I said it's probably all those tabs you had open on the hub.
KB investigates. You became a member yesterday. Again, thank you for becoming a member. I emailed you back. So it's you now that hasn't checked your email. I emailed you back quite a few hours ago, actually, now. I sent you the link for the Facebook group as well. And then I answered you back to your other message there. Okay, so just check your email and you will find it. And again, thank you. And anyone else that wants to become a member, it's in the description of this video. It's $1.99 a month. I know that's a ripoff, but most people can handle the $1.99. $1.99 out of your mind? Not really. Nope. But yes, so I emailed you back. Let me just pull up this here. Okay, so this is the let's see here, the opening or order sealing documents. One, if you already have read this, two, if you want me to read it. There's a couple pages. It's up to you guys. One, if you don't want me to read it, two, if you want me to read it. This is in regards to, of course, the order sealing documents from the apartment, right? That's what this is from.
I'll vote for two.
Two was yeah, because you haven't either. To be honest with you, I don't think I've read this either. One, it's short. There we go. You know what? First one to say it wins. So, wait. She said one, it's short. That was one if you don't want me to read it. And then Crime Sleuth puts one, it's short. That's funny. Okay, hold on a second here. I see Alexa has sent me something. Bryan Kohberger, what to expect on Thursday's hearing. We'll watch that in just a bit here. You know what? I don't care. I mean, I asked you guys one or two, but at the end of the day, I don't think I actually cared because I haven't read it myself. So I might read it. It's not that long. Yeah. Like go get a drink or something like that for those people that don't want to listen. You know. Let's see. So it says this matter has come, before the court, blah, blah, blah. And having entered findings of the fact and conclusions from law therefrom, blah, blah, blah. The order of the court, clerk of this court shall seal the warrant, applicant for the warrant, until March 1st of 2023 or until earlier ordered of this court. Let's see here. What's this got on it? The personal privacy interests of the witnesses, victims, and victims' families named in the application filed in this cause also support sealing the documents filed in this matter. Limited sealing. For these reasons, information contained in the application and the nature of this investigation must be kept secret for a limited period of time. It is estimated that the investigation will likely be concluded within 2 months from this date, so an order sealing the file for that period of time is appropriate and necessary. The prosecuting attorney may seek an order unsealing the records if the Idaho investigation and/or criminal case proceeds more quickly than currently anticipated. For the immediate further, no action short of total sealing of the records in this file will be protect the above interests. Based on the foregoing, the court now makes and enters the following. Jurisdiction. The court has jurisdiction over the subject matter herein, effective law enforcement and public safety. There exists a serious and imminent threat to efficient and effective law enforcement, to public safety, and the public interest in law enforcement's ability to completely investigate criminal activity using all tools lawfully at their disposal to collect the evidence of criminal activity, and no means less restrictive than sealing the listed documents herein to protect those interests.
Oh, okay. That could make more sense. Sorry.
That makes more sense when you see it like that.
When I read it, because they don't want some of the techniques and stuff that they used.
Yeah.
Out there. That I get. So that makes more sense. Yeah. Sorry, didn't interrupt you.
Nope. Personal privacy. There exists a serious and imminent threat to the privacy of the witnesses, victims, and victims' families named in the affidavit, and no means less restrictive than sealing the listed document. Yada 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 on that one. Same stuff. Is this the same one? Oh wait, what is this one? The court has previously considered an application for the search warrant filed in this cause with the declaration of Don Daniels, Assistant Chief of Police, WSU Department of blah blah blah. Okay. Impact on effective law enforcement and public safety. This matter is in the investigative stage, and while criminal charges have been brought, those charges are not yet publicly known. Premature public disclosure of the details of this law enforcement investigation will create a serious, oh, that's just repeating itself, an imminent threat to law enforcement. Okay, repeating itself. And premature. Yeah, okay, that's good. There you go. I think it was a win-win situation there. It's all that's just the, technical stuff of it and talking about it. And this is actually saying the same thing. I think it actually might even be the same one. Is that the same one? I think that is the same one, but this one's just highlighted. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm working my way back to. Hey, we haven't had a new subscriber during this live. I haven't heard any music go off. But don't be a regular person and then unsubscribe and hit subscribe, because you got a 2-hour wait period. But
I know, right? I think I even lost a subscriber or two on my channel.
I think you did, actually. Isn't it always funny? People are funny that way. It's like, and then you're gonna subscribe if something good comes in. Use and abuse. But anyways. Okay.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that. Okay. So.
No, anything.
Yeah, you did.
Oh no, I was just commenting on what you said. Sorry, I've got like the worst frog in my throat. It's like I can't talk. I apologize.
Yeah, I have a snake in my throat. Yeah. Lewis, what do you have in your throat? Actually,
Well, in a minute, probably a cough drop.
I got some of those. These are honey ones.
Honey lemon?
Yeah, honey lemon. Yep. Okay, so let's go, Alexa.
Same ones.
Oh, hey. Oh my God, marry me, Adam. I don't care what my husband says. This could be my internet lover.
I have one in my mouth.
Everybody else, forget it. Me and Adam are just too much alike. It's for you. Louis, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Good night, Crime Sleuthin'. One set is screenshots. One set is PDF. Gotcha. I took actually screenshots myself. I didn't know it. But anyways, okay. So let's go to Messenger for a second, and we're gonna see what our good boy. It's only 1 minute and 32 seconds long. So we'll play this from Alexa. Thank you, Alexa. You guys are triplets. You guys are triplets.
I'm going to need some important advice here in a minute.
Oh, okay. Go on with your bad self.
Do we go with strawberry, grape, or blue raspberry?
Blue raspberry. Blue raspberry all the way. Yeah. Blue raspberry.
Anything that turns your mouth blue is always the way to go.
Yeah, what he said. Yep, it's Lewis's 50th birthday today, so he's now considered over the hill. Yeah, blue raspberry, you got it, guys. Okay, and again, 92 people in chat. Please hit the like and the share, and if anyone wants to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, it's in the description of this video as well as no, I haven't added all of it, but anyways, just go to the description of that if anyone wants to follow us, because you guys, I don't typically use TikTok or Instagram, but I'm laying it down and I'm going to start using them a lot more. Yeah, that's how I roll at 53. These things came out a long time ago, and I decided that I'm going to take them on and tackle them, especially TikTok. Instagram is connected to Facebook and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure if you post on Instagram, it automatically goes to your Facebook. Am I correct? Is that too serious of a question? You don't even know, do you?
I'm not an Instagram user,
The
so I have
setting
no
you
idea.
have to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Liz.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I don't use Instagram,
He
so I
doesn't know.
wouldn't know.
He doesn't know.
It's a setting you can put a setting on your Instagram that it shares everything onto your
Yeah.
Facebook account as well.
Yeah, Regis, it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have mine connected. Every now and again, I find out these little things that I didn't know before about something, or I'm curious. So yesterday after we got off the live, I was like, or I think it was the day before, I was like, can we connect TikTok? So I was Googling that, and I was sitting there going, I couldn't find out how to do it on the desktop. So I had to go to my phone and be like, because the little tutorials kept showing the phone, and I'm like, I'm on my desktop. And but anyways, and then I was just like, oh, that was easy. Okay, just go here. Took 2 seconds. Anyways, I mean, took me the longest to go. Yes, this is me signing in. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I guess the big question is, did you make your cookies yesterday?
Yeah, well, see, I'm trying to figure out how I did that if I was on a live with you and Adam after the other one, and we did another live. Because Renee asked me that too, and I was like, well, I said I was going to make it, and I told you guys I was going to get off 3 or 4 times, because So what happens is when we end the live, we unless it's somebody that just hits leave, it goes to the back room again. So we usually sit there and talk for a little bit in the back room, and so 3 times at least I said I was going to get off and go make those cookies,
right?
Type of thing.
Definitely.
And then after the Just Gas Lewis and Sunny live, and then we ended up going, hey, want to do a live? There's the stuff going on with the shooting in Lawrence, and and
Probably why I have a frog in my throat. we've been live for 12 hours a day.
That's probably why. Anyway, let's quickly watch this 1 minute and 30-second video here. 32 seconds if you're OCD. Yeah, we'll do that quickly.
Hey everybody, this is Brian Enton in Moscow, Idaho. Wanted to give you an update on the court hearing that will be happening on Thursday. It's going to be at 8 in the morning, and we are told that it's expected to be relatively short, and they are mainly going to talk about scheduling. They're going to be talking about scheduling a preliminary hearing. Now, first of all, there's a possibility that the defense could waive the preliminary hearing, so that could happen. But if the defense doesn't do that, both sides are going to come up with a date and time that works for them, where they will set the preliminary hearing. And it's at the preliminary hearing that could be really something, because we expect to hear more evidence if that hearing happens, and they could also call witnesses. So we could possibly hear from the surviving roommate who was in the house behind me, who told police that she actually saw the killer. That person could be called to the stand up at a preliminary hearing. Cameras will be allowed inside the courtroom. So we will have video. We'll be able to show you video of what happened inside, but they're not allowing a live stream. So we won't be able to put that video out until after the hearing happens. Also new here in Moscow, classes have officially started at the University of Idaho. They were out on winter break. They officially started on Wednesday. Students just seem relieved. There were more students walking around. People felt safer, they told us, but there is still this deep sense of sadness, as you can imagine, because so many people on the campus knew one of the victims, and it's obviously going to take a very, very long time for people to heal. So we'll obviously have the latest from here. We'll be at the hearing, we'll be inside, and we'll let you know what happened.
Okie dokie.
Welcome back to the Tonight Show.
Let's watch the Tonight Show. I want to watch the Tonight Show. Someone just said, Luna just said happy birthday, Lewis. Let's see. Sonny, that was filed right, the 30th. So the public safety comment could have been that Bryan wasn't back in custody here in Idaho. Yeah, I was looking at the date. And they put a ballistic helmet on his head, so could have also been concerns for him. Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Thanks, CD.
You know, I think CD has a video out where you can see them put the the helmet on his head before they put him into that truck.
Yeah. So as for Idaho, let's see here. Well, as for Idaho, let's get into any questions and stuff that people want to ask now. So I've pretty much shown, I believe I've shown everything that I wanted to show today. It was a lot. Like I said, it took a lot of time to put that video together, even though it was 17 minutes long, to copy it, edit it, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so let's get into talking a little bit about Idaho, and then towards the end of this live, and in just a little bit, then we'll get into Delphi. And so anyways, so does anyone have anything to say, Lewis, Adam, or anybody in chat? I'm just going to kick it back until I see some questions. Just going to stretch my legs right now. That's exactly what I'm doing. My husband wants to be in bed by 10, he said, people.
Why? What do you got to do?
It's his birthday every day, Adam.
Lucky man.
He is, and I'm lucky too. I got a lot of men, don't I? I got my real husband, my online husbands. Right, CD? CD knows what I'm talking about. Wink, wink. On there. Don't tell your wife, though, I said that.
Well, I will. While you're kicking back, I would say I watched an interesting true crime documentary film tonight on Netflix. Since I wasn't doing any work, called it was, well, I can't remember what it was called, but it was about a hatchet wielding hitchhiker, and of course my mind went to Daniel Nations. I was like, oh, but it was a different one. But it was good. So if anyone's looking for an hour long little film to watch on Netflix, that was a good documentary.
Phew. Must be hard to work that hard, Adam.
I know.
How much you hear you did it probably from your bed too, right, CD?
Half in bed and then half in the living room while I ate a little lunch.
Was that hard too to pick up that sandwich? Did you have a sandwich?
Yeah.
And here I was, like, I literally was gung ho. I got up. I think it was my husband left it. No, okay, this is what happened. This is my story today. Okay, Lewis? Okay.
Sure.
My husband woke up. I went to bed about 4 o'clock in the morning, at least. It was 5 o'clock. No, it was 10 to 5 when my husband come give me my kiss and stuff. Don't get jealous. I'm sorry, CD and Adam and Lewis and everybody. But anyways, so next thing I know, I was oblivious till 7:53, I think it was. And I woke up going, where am I? What am I? I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm literally bouncing into the kitchen to go make some toast. I don't know. I woke up going, I want some toast. So then I was like throwing in laundry, being a good housewife.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm unstoppable every day, to be honest with you. Verbal Judo just sponsored.
Oh.
Thank you, Verbal Judo.
Heather, that's
Hey.
No.
What about Heather? Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there in a second. Still going on about my story.
Yeah.
And then, so I, Adam, was working from pretty much after I made my toast, 8:15, throw in some laundry, and then I've been at it all day up until we have to come on the live. Now, if anyone knows this channel, everyone knows that usually Adam is late. And if he's not late, he usually starts a lot of times off camera because he's quickly doing something, whether it's running to the bathroom, feeding the cats, whatever. So I'm sitting here making this video that's taken me, a little chunk of the day for sure. And then I'm like looking at the time and it's like 8:20 or my time, guys. It's like 6:29, I think 6:27, 6:29. And I pop in and I'm like, Oh, and then Lewis, of course, is waiting. And next thing you know, who pops in? Right on cue, Adam. Right at that time, I'm like, how did I beat you? I was literally racing around. I wasn't sweating. I was perspiring. I wasn't even perspiring really. It's actually
I came in at 9:29.
Yeah.
And I would have been here earlier, but I had just read the messages you sent me 2 hours prior about sending you the videos. So I was like, oh, gotta do that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then
whenever we start lives late, it's because of that husband over there. Anyways, let's go back. Okay. So that was my day. Okay.
Actually, we were just celebrating Lewis's birthday.
Correct. Don't worry, Lewis. Me and my husband celebrated your birthday just for you. You're welcome. Oh,
Lewis, I
celebrated
alone.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go back to Regis's comment here first. Do you think Kaylee looks similar to the woman he spoke about in Reddit chats? Don't know. Never looked. Did they show pictures of some females?
Well, which Reddit chats are you talking about? Are you talking about the official ones? I mean, the ones that we know that came from his research project, or are you talking about the speculative ones that were from the account about Lights Out and then the other 1451? I'm just curious. I will say the female that I saw it on Ikamel's channel today. I'd heard about this Tinder date. One of these people that came out about having Tinder dates.
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw the TikToks on Ikamel's, and I have to say, when I saw when I first saw her, I was like, well, I have multiple thoughts about it, because if you look back to like the OnlyFans comment stuff that the stuff that was deleted, there were a couple of the females that he refers to and talks about on there. That one of the accounts, I'm just going to say, is called Thickany. And then when I looked at this Reddit, or when I looked at this Tinder date girl, she was a little bigger. But then, when I saw the pictures of her in 2015, when she went on the date with Bryan, she resembled one of the victims, in my opinion. I mean, the big eyes. I mean, the cheeks. There were definitely resemblances to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. On to the next comment. Why do you think Kaylee was?
That is the one you're. Regis. Okay. Sorry, Sonny.
Oh no, go ahead. What'd you say?
Regis said the female models with OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm gonna look similar to the woman you spoke about. Maybe. Maybe. Why do many think Kaylee was the target? I think it was more likely Maddie or Zaina. There's reasons for Kaylee that she was deemed as a target. We know that the vape store owner talked about a stalker that had been stalking Kaylee. That was kind of a big one right there. Why am I missing what I was gonna say as well? What else was there? There was that, and
well, her family came out at one point and did say they thought
their family. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I mean, the family. Steve had said, Steve Gonsalves had said that that they believed that maybe it was someone that he believed it was, probably likely that it was, something on social media. I think it was, wasn't it, with Kaylee that might have crossed his path or something like that somewhere. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I've seen so much, but. The definitely those couple of things between Steve Gonsalves and the stalker thing that was brought up by the vape guy, and the fact about Instagram. I don't know if that's one's real still. Maybe it is the one where he's following.
I believe that the one picture I do. The one picture I do believe is real. I believe is real. There's several that are not, but I believe that one is
Yeah.
the one is real.
Well, the reason why I say that is, I mean, like I said, he's smart in certain ways for sure. You don't think he would have deleted his like Instagram following or something? But why would he? Why would he leave his Instagram to show that he was following Maddie, Zaina, and Kaylee? Like that just seems odd.
Right.
He
You
has,
may be right.
well, it's just that you have all the time in the world. He has all the time in the world between when he's arrested to then to get rid of anything that he thinks of as evidence that would lead to him. And one of the most obvious things that people do is look for a link in a social media thing. So that's why it seems odd to me. And it wouldn't, and it especially seems odd because it's all three girls. So that one I have to put a question mark about.
Exactly. That's fair.
Yeah. And since we're talking about this quickly, I just want to go back to the audio again. That audio, as far as I'm concerned, has been debunked. That the girl that posted it used her own camera and an argument that her camera picked up to show basically how it sounded. And of course, most people have dogs, so there was a dog barking. So I'm going to deem that one as debunked, that it's not the actual footage from the home. If it ever turns out that it truly was, and they kind of just slyly did it that way, in a sense, then so be it if that ever happens. But I'm going to take it for its face value right now and just say that that girl was simply trying to show people that, and the whatever, I can't think of her name, Mary Beth or whatever it was. So that's how I'm going to deem that for the audio. Okay. I'm not putting weight on it or anything like that. And by saying so, I'm glad, to be honest with you. Because sometimes when you hear something or see something, it's hard to unhear or see. So if I have it in my head that it's probably not the audio, it's probably a nicer thing to not think about or have in my head that will stick.
Right. Right. I mean, from the time that we put, from the time that we played that, we 100% said we didn't know, and we weren't endorsing it.
Yeah.
But that we were just putting it out as well, just so people could be their own judge, to see really what people thought, because we know fake audios come out in this case already once. So
just ask Joseph Morris; he knows all about it. Yeah. Heather said, "Why do you think about the rumor that Bryan ordered the DoorDash?" Wait, what? Oh, a rumor that Bryan ordered the DoorDash? No, come on.
There's crazy Facebook group rumors going out there that
that's not
that he did it. Like we've shown the picture of the Jack in the Box bag on the camera.
Yeah.
I've confirmed some of that with Jack in the Box themselves. A lot of people also will look at the fact that the Jack in the Box in Moscow was closed. The one that delivered was actually in Pullman. And their drive-through is open 24 hours. Their dining room closes at 10 or 11 p.m. But that DoorDash delivery was made by Xana. It came around 4 a.m. But it was ordered by Xana, to my knowledge.
Heather, to me, I was wondering.
But I've read that. I've read the rumor.
Yeah, you know what I was going to say. I was about a week or two ago. I remember thinking to myself, I wonder when that rumor is going to start about the DoorDash that Bryan ordered it. So that's the first time I actually seen a question, Heather. So
some people think he's cloned one of their phones.
Yeah, I think that's very much stretching it so far that you probably need to go to another planet, to be honest.
Right, but there's nothing wrong with asking.
No, absolutely not. Because I was personally laughing because I was waiting for that rumor, and then Heather had asked it or said exactly what I was thinking about, like I said, a week or so ago, and it just made me laugh because I was going, so who's going to be that person to say that Bryan ordered the DoorDash? And and it just doesn't. If it doesn't make sense.
Well, what have we said all along, Sonny? How long is it going to be before are we sure? I mean, do we know what Murphy's Do we know? I mean, are we sure Murphy wasn't the real? Murray was it Murphy? Are we sure it wasn't Murphy that was the real? Perpetrator.
Yeah, the dog.
The dog.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Those doodles can get upset when they're left too long.
Deb says the killer went into separate rooms where I think the targets were Zaina and Maddie. I still think myself is that Maddie or Maddie, like he obviously was watching that place regardless. He knew it. He knew the layout, smart enough to go online, see a virtual place and whatever, knew the layout of the land. And I still think that one of them was a target, and that because he heard Zaina say something, that he had to go, like that she became the target. So he probably seen her or something like that. And remember about the someone's in the house thing?
Right.
It's probably coming from over there. But anyways,
he probably started with the Jack in the Box bag on the kitchen counter by the window.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no way he could not have seen her. She gets the Jack in the Box there on floor, goes upstairs, goes into the kitchen, places it, takes it out. Meanwhile, he's over there. He knew who lived there already. Right. Besides Ethan, that wasn't supposed to. He knew who lived there. He'd been there.
Yeah, exactly. But he probably knew that red Jeep was in front when he drove by.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what you know what? And again, this is what I'm saying. It's just like the DoorDash guy was probably there. He probably drove by a couple of times, waiting for that DoorDash person who was ever at the door with the food to leave. It's probably why he was seen 3 times on his camera, turning around, going back and bypassing. I don't think it was one of those things like, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? It was probably that in that short of time, because you have to think the DoorDash guy has to get there, has to bring out the food, whatever. Not always, but probably he waited for the door to be answered.
Or he left it at the door. You can do the non-contact delivery. You don't want to wake your roommates up.
But I'm thinking that he like I said, so he drove by the 3rd time at 404, probably saw the DoorDash guy there, went around. He was on a mission. He was on a mission to do this. And I think that mission cost him because he was sloppy. And I still think myself that Zaina and Ethan weren't actually targets originally, but became targets myself. So we'll see how it plays out, Deb, because, I mean, we don't know for sure.
Right. And presumably at that point, Dylan's light was probably off because, we know she was awake, but you said she'd fallen asleep and woke up to, the sound of stuff. So presumably if he was in the back of that house, he would have thought Dylan's light was off to begin with as well.
Verbal, that would be yes. They had talked about it. So that the answer to that would be yes. Her family did know.
I agree with Verbal's next comment though. That DoorDash driver, I'm sure, was freaking out big time.
I don't know. I'm just kind of scrolling down here.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not sure where I am. I'm just looking for questions this one here?
Yeah.
Oh, the DoorDash driver. Well, the DoorDash driver is probably freaking out just as much as Bryan Kohberger was freaking out when they got pulled over and looked like he was about to take a big turd. But different feelings, but for different reasons in a sense. I'm sure that DoorDash driver is not only thinking about that his life could have ended, his or her, I think it was a he. And I think actually it was the DoorDash driver, if I'm not mistaken, it was the DoorDash driver that actually talked about the white sedan. I believe that I remember that it was the DoorDash driver that actually said that their white Honda Elantra was in the area, and that's actually where they got the information from as well, was from him. I remember.
You mean other than the camera?
Yes, other than the camera, absolutely. I remember seeing that, about 4 or 5 days ago.
You do know a lot of DoorDash drivers have cameras going too. So it's possible that it picked up the car and he noticed the car in the camera when he looked at his camera from driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, whichever way, yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking it's with his eyes, but you know, and that's what, again, hence that the vehicle Hyundai Elantra was passing by, went, and as soon as whatever, that's why that time frame is like 4 o'clock, and then he's 4:04 that the camera passes by. He gets into the house, you know, probably about the 4:05, 4:05, 4:07 mark, you know, goes upstairs. To me, if the people upstairs uh, weren't going to be the victims, like why would he go up there first? Why wouldn't he just stay on that floor?
Like Steve said, he didn't have to go up those stairs.
No.
You know, he didn't go down the stairs to the bottom, or else I'm sure that that person would have been killed, which was Bethany. But I think that it was a direct path up there. He was watching them from the back. I still think he knew them. They might not have known him, and if it might even still come to fruition that there was a connection somewhere, at some bar, at some place. You know, maybe one of them snipped him. Maybe there was a story. I don't know. Maybe there was something, an article about the other person's death that I don't know. There's something there with social media, possibly still. But if not, you know, to me, then he searched out that place.
Where did they work out?
Right. Like there's so, like, it sounds like he, like, I'm sure not only did he go to the house, that computer and his phone are going to have so much damning evidence to me that his ass is grass. To me, in my eyes, in my court, in my house, in my laws, his ass is grass. He's going to have so much against him that it's going to make his tail spin, little pussy. Aspen, working on a video, also Brian's third pass, and leaves down Walnita. I don't want to say where I believe he went until I post it, because definitely someone lurking here that will take it as their own. Yeah, you got to love it when people take on the information as if it was themselves, you know. If you're getting information from somewhere, you know.
I was leaning back in my chair. Did you see my, like, it was doing to my
Yeah,
leg?
you're right. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's always been a pet peeve, though. Like, if you're legitly taking someone's information, and that's what happened with Mr. Asshat over there, was that he literally took the cryptic note from Delphi, and then it was the acting that went there, and he pretended it was like his thoughts and his, you know, like that he had discovered this and stuff like that, you know, and then, right, and that's the same reason why Grizz knew I was upset at him as well, because of that same thing. He went on to Gray Hughes with it and didn't say anything, and I, of course, you know, was a little bit choked about that, but whatever. But it's just about, if you have something and you're the person that did it, you know, in a sense. Because I remember I was watching a news clip the other day, and this person was taking credit when, I think, wasn't it Nerdy Addict that had it out first about the online visual snow thing? Because the way they were talking was as if they had, you know, that they weren't really saying anything about it because they know how people replicate and duplicate things and start creating an accounts. But then somebody else took credit for it on News Nation as being the ones or something. Anyways,
I don't know.
Let me just say that, just like I said,
You know, I don't pay attention to so much stuff.
You know, even people in some uniforms know, CD, I'm not talking about you. You know, some people can really lack ethical and integrity and stuff like that, as well as some of the other.
Really?
Yes. Sure. Yes. Not you, CD. And for me, it's just like I said, it's about character, integrity, and honesty. And, you know, like for me, for instance, like with Hux there, I totally gave him credit for that virtual, even though I enhanced it. But I gave him his credit. Actually, while I talked about it, the fact that it was his and I enhanced it, then YouTube made me freaking change music. But I didn't know that they were going to edit out my talking part of it, little buggers. So that's why I gave him credit as well. I forgot to put his link in the description, but I went back and put the link in. But then I gave him credit on to the next video because, again, I thought he did a great job of that virtual tour. I just wanted to tweak it, and I wanted to bring it bring a different spectrum. So I videoed it and then I added so I could overlay some pictures and make things bigger so that you guys could see it. But he did a great job. And his name Hux. Like I said, he does 3D virtuals and different things. But anyways, just give the credit properly when it's due, and don't claim it as your own when it's not your own. And even usually, I try to, and I can't. I don't think I always do, but when people send me articles and that, I like to try to give them a shout out because, like, you know, Callie sent me some. You sent me some. Alexa sent me some. You know, Lewis sends me some. You know, different people in the chat and stuff like that. So thank you guys again. For everyone that does, the email always pops up with mine and Adam's email and by Streamlabs, so you can look out for that as it pops up each time. And verbal.
I'll have to check out Reddit. Apparently, I need to read the comments and check out Reddit when I do things. I don't ever do that.
With theory ends up on Facebook group or Reddit. Definitely from mine and Aspen's lives this week. Made it to Reddit. Yeah. So when I was watching like that thing, for instance, the whole visual snow, you know, I mean, I only knew about it because you sent me the link for Nerdy Addict, and I don't even know who Nerdy Addict is up until you sent me that link. I might have heard of the name once before, but it's not somebody I watched. Just like that circus.
And CD sent the link.
Yeah, right. And CD sent you the link. Okay. But, you know, like I said, it is kind of one of those things. I'm not going to sit there and act like I found that myself when I didn't, you know. You know, it's just about a community helping each other and working together.
When I played that audio, whether it be, you know, even if it's been debunked, you know, I mean, like when a creator allowed me to use the cleaned up audio that they did, I gave them credit for it.
Adam, you're 42, right? 43? 41? 41?
20. Oh, wait. I was like, wait, what are we doing? I'm 41. But my DoorDash delivery driver last night said that I looked much younger.
Oh, you do? You don't?
So after Sharon Parker said I looked tired, the DoorDash delivery driver telling me that I looked younger, I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Sorry, I'm going to mind my own beeswax.
No. We like your beeswax, Gerbil.
You have beeswax? I'll take some beeswax.
We like your beeswax.
I'll make some beeswax candles out of it.
I always like what Verbal has to say.
Right. Hence the name Verbal Judo. All right. Let's see. That's you commenting there. Aspen, it's all the time to look on Reddit. Our whole live is there. Yeah. I swear next time you do a live CD, I'm just gonna post out. I'm just gonna use your video. In fact, I'll just play your video. I'll save some time. I'll do what some of those other channels do, where they just keep playing somebody's whole video. I don't like doing that. I like showing portions of videos, but then I'm not gonna make somebody watch the whole thing typically. For a creator, because you know, like I said, that's when they can. You know, if you use too much, you usually can sample 10%, but if you use too much, you know, that's when they can ask you to take it down and stuff like that. No, thank you. Here's the link. Go watch it yourself. Okay, so did Zena actually order it, or Brian?
Zena ordered it. I mean, I'm assuming, but to me, the theory that Brian ordered it is ludicrous.
I
understand that. I understand the rumors out there. I think that it's ludicrous.
I was gonna say so. Yeah, KB. To be honest, I had to look at that for a second because I'm like, wait, well, what do you mean? But then it was somebody else that asked the question. But yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous myself. Let's put that one in the trash, or at least close to it. Yeah.
Put it in that Jack in the Box bag and throw it away.
Yeah. Lewis, happy 50th birthday. You should be doing shots right now.
And so, like, I know you can't really see it on screen, but for KB, you can clearly see the Jack in the Box bag is on the counter, but it's open and everything's been taken out of it. Like, you can, like, you know, you can So I mean, it's not like the bag was just sitting closed on the counter. The bag is sitting open with Xana's name on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, CD, did you post it, CD, with the high school friend video? You could play that, Sonny, if you wanted.
What can I play?
The interview CD did while I was with him, when I was on with him, of the high school friend of Brian's. He just posted the link there, and he said you.
How long is it?
It wasn't long because it was right at the end of his. It was right at the end, and we both had to go. Oh, thank you, KB.
Where's the link? Where did you say it was?
CD had just posted it in the chat.
Oh, I need to go to the other channel thing then here. 1 second. Give me a sec, CDA. I gotta open up.
Let me get. I'm gonna refresh water while you're doing that.
Yeah, I know. I need to go get some water. Dying of thirst here. Let me see. 1 sec, CD. YouTube. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see. All right. Yeah, we can do that if you like, CD. This is gonna be. You guys gonna hang around for a bit. CD did this one. It's like about 22 minutes long or whatever.
Sure.
So let's see here. Share screen. Okay, let's go here. Thanks, CD Bud. So this is on Analysis of a Crimes channel. Right here, Analysis of a Crime. He has 4.1K subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to him, CD, drop your link, dude. Guess I could too. Okay.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, you could just stay on audio only. I mean, just hearing any insight that you could give on Bryan would be great.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, when the news broke, it was surreal. Just seeing his face and you just kind of close your eyes and you just start recounting everything in high school. Like you don't remember things that happened in high school until the person's brought up, and then all these events start to to come together. And I mean, I just haven't really been outspoken about what I think, because what I think isn't what everybody is claiming. So I've kind of been a little quiet.
How did you go through all grade school with him?
Yeah, I'm 29. He was 28. Like I said, I've known him since he was a lot heavier, which he's not heavy now, but he was very big in grade school. He got picked on. Everybody got picked on. I got picked on when I was in school. I don't think that attributed to like what occurred, because nothing in high school gave anything away. I mean, he started losing weight, started getting confidence. He was dating girls, and I was just kind of looking from the outside in, proud of
that's
him.
Cool. I mean, it's good to hear. So,
yeah.
So you saw, like, it was basically like a 180. He lost weight, became confident, started to approach girls.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So like I said,
did he have a steady girlfriend that you knew of?
Yeah, I remember him dating this one girl for a while. But I just always remember him after he lost weight. He was very, just a lot more vocal, a lot more, just outgoing. But always had that kind of, I guess, blank stare or monotone voice. And, that's been him since he was however years old. That didn't just happen.
That doesn't make somebody a killer. So
exactly.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
No.
I totally understand. I know the girl who I guess you also went to school with that was out. I forget her name.
Casey Arns.
Yeah, that's it. She said, like he always had that dead stare. That she remembers that that's how she kind of described, his stare that he had. And did you know him when he was messing around with drugs? Did you know anything about that?
I actually do not, but I know I actually am still good friends with the person that he did drugs with. I guess, towards the end of high school. But I guess he got off. I mean, what I was told is he got off the drugs, and to be on that kind of drugs and to be able to get through college and going for your PhD is very tough.
I agree 100%. That's why I said, and even Aspen that's on here, so he might have started to use maybe Adderall or like you're hearing how the lady living underneath him was also a PhD student, said how he was always cleaning late at night. So there could have been some kind of other thing being used to go to school this long and function. Being a heroin addict would be almost impossible.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why, like I said, and just seeing all the speculation, everybody's saying this, saying that, but actually knowing the person, I guess, has put me in a position of like, I'm just waiting for the evidence,
Right. No, yeah. I could totally understand where you're coming from. Like hearing this week is like out of left field for you and everybody that knew him. It's like, boom. It's like, what,
Yeah, I mean, me and my daughter. See, I live about an hour away currently from where I grew up there in Effort, PA. But me and my daughter went up there for Christmas, and we were about, I don't know, a mile and a half from where he was arrested. I've been in that community probably over 100 times. My best friend lives in that community.
It's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, very nice neighborhood. So again, his mother worked at the school. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah, she was was she a sub or was she?
She was a sub. Nothing, she wasn't like an actual teacher, but I remember her distinctly. Very nice woman.
That's what the people have said. She was very nice.
So all the talk about mother problems and stuff like that, that's false.
I don't know if you listened to the whole stream. And people are even bringing up, the parents had a bankruptcy. That has nothing to do.
No. He didn't kill for money. He didn't kill for money. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. You got to,
Did he ever get in trouble? Like you were during school, did he ever get in trouble?
No, like I said, man, he was just very. I mean, he must have been top 10, maybe even top 5 of his class as far as academics go.
Cool. Yeah,
that's why this is so mind blowing.
If you heard his master's professor yesterday, she said he was pretty much her best student, highly intelligent. She's only helped 2 people in her, I think, 9-year career at the college. She's only helped 2 people get into a graduate program, and he was one of them. So it tells you he was highly intelligent. He was very motivated. People are taking that Reddit thing he put out that he was asking questions on as like, he was trying to get in the mindset of a killer, but it was actually for his thesis.
To me, I think he was just doing what he was asked to do in class. Like, I mean,
it was part of his thesis, she said.
Yeah. I guess I'm just looking at this as if he had this much knowledge in how to, get away with this, not get away with that. Wouldn't he have like done a lot of things differently? Like got rid of the car or made an excuse to his parents to sell the car, trade the car, something, fly across the country instead of driving across the country in the murder vehicle. Just, I don't know. A lot just doesn't add up.
I think he drove it home, and his dad came. Maybe that wasn't the plan for the way he was coming home, but he wanted to get the car out of there.
Yeah,
I think it's I saw the file, November 16th. He had the plates changed to Washington plates. So 3 days after the murders, the plates were changed from, because maybe in his mindset is, if a camera caught it, maybe they didn't see it was from Philly, but they knew it wasn't a Washington plate. Now I get a Washington plate, and plus they were looking for 2011 to 2013. His was a 2015.
And I doubt he planned on that.
A lot of things in his mindset were in his favor by changing the plate.
Gotcha. Okay. See, I didn't even know they had a plate.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they did. I just know he changed his plate.
Gotcha.
16th. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure of course he's innocent until he's proven guilty. But he also probably could have gotten some confidence from the fact that clearly the whole world was focused on these other people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like I said, if somebody's studying how to commit the perfect murder, you don't go to class the next day. And I guess my big question I asked in the chat before I got on here was, if somebody went in and murdered 4 people and walked out, there has to be some kind of trace of blood in the car. Even if he cleaned it with the best cleaner in the world, that stuff does not go away.
Well, did you hear what I said that I watched them take out of the house? They took a pretty large cardboard box of foot covers.
Right. So booties.
Did he go there planned, with foot booties and a suit on, and took it off in that? Because listen, we saw drone footage the day after from aerial view. You didn't see any blood. You know, I'm not saying that you're going to see a lot of blood, but you saw distinctly. You saw the whole area, and nothing was seen as to any trail of what. You know, you murder 4 people, you're going to have blood on your shoes.
Yeah, somewhere.
You know, yeah. So you know,
and I guess the defensive wounds. I mean, if you know, when you're I'm trying to fathom how somebody can stab 4 people.
This is a mind-blowing thing, and you're trying to digest it as I knew.
Because I mean, if I felt a stab wound, I'm punching, I'm scratching somebody's face, I'm doing something. So if somebody had defensive wounds and he just sits in class the next day and nobody's like, "Hey, what happened to your?" You know, people are just saying he was different after the murders. Nobody said he got any kind of wounds on him.
Yeah. No, yeah.
He had gloves on in the.
But it's not like he could also hide in class, because he was also in front of the class as a teacher's assistant. He was running a class, so it's. Not
I understand he wore. I mean, they're saying he wore gloves. I don't think I heard he wore gloves in class, because that's a dead giveaway.
It was.
Or he could have kept his hand in his pocket. You never know.
Gotcha.
It was. I guess it was in the area of Pennsylvania where he was being followed before they did the search warrant on that. You know, the arrest warrant on the house.
Gotcha.
That was when he was wearing gloves, supposedly in a grocery store.
Yeah, and that in itself, I don't really have an explanation for, other than being a clean freak. But I don't see that. You know,
I think he was trying. You know, he might have knew something might have tipped him off that they were closing in on him, and he might have been trying to touch DNA, that he would touch something, they would take it for evidence and run it. You know, you never know what the mindset could be.
But why? But I guess why let him? I mean, if you have any kind of evidence on him, why let him drive across the country with? I know it's his dad, with a potential victim.
They might have been waiting for, you know, immediate labs to come back.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know?
Okay.
Depending on, it sounds like that they were tipped off to him within the last 10 days.
Right.
So
Okay.
you figured, you know, by the time they were able to, because I think they used some kind of genealogy to get the hit.
That's right. Yeah,
towards him, towards his family. So, you know, there's a lot at play, and that's why they tailed him the whole way back. I mean, at this, you know, even if you suspected of committing, you know, quadruple homicide, highly doubtful that you're going to kill your dad. You know, that's they had, you know, and I'm sure they had wiretap on him. They had GPS on him. So
I'm sure as soon as he started driving east with his dad, I'm sure they
were on him
where he was headed.
Yeah, and I'm sure they had a wiretap where they were listening to his convo with his father, and you know, they were trying to see if there was any kind of friction there, possibly, that do we have to take him now or wait?
Yeah,
you know?
Or if his dad was involved or anything like that. Which personally, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I don't think so either. You know, listen.
Because I think if his parents were involved, they would have got rid of that car after he called them. They would have would have done something with the car, because they own the car, I think.
I mean, it's terrible that, you know, the way social media is, the way YouTube is. You know, his parents are getting hammered in the court of
I hate to see it, man. Like I said, just
I do too. I do too.
I mean, the victim's parents got the same thing.
I'm retired law enforcement, and it drives me crazy when I see the family of anybody who's a suspect getting attacked. Even
that's
some
all
of
I'm
the family
seeing.
of the victims were getting attacked.
Yeah,
it's
even law
crazy.
enforcement was getting attacked for not releasing too much information. Doesn't, you know?
They got destroyed, and I said it from day one. They're working. As soon as the bodies were found, they exited. They got a search warrant for the house. They did everything right to get everything possible out of there without making any mistakes. The only mistake to me was not getting the cars out of there for 16 days. They should have got the cars out and processed them. They waited till it started to snow 16 days later, and that's when they removed them. I'll call it like it is. I mean, that was a mistake. They should have got the cars out first. They should have not let the cops basically park in the crime scene. You know, whoever was sitting on the house, he was in the crime scene. And I know it's cold. You know, that's why it was that way, so that he could document everybody coming and going. That's what you have to do. You got to keep a log. But at the end of the day, you got to stand there. You can't have a vehicle basically inside the crime scene.
It really is crazy that we also live in a world where a crime goes unsolved for 47 days and people are like, it's cold. It's cold. I mean, what? Like 47 days is nothing.
There's stuff that hasn't even come back yet. Like, give them time. But what does this guy know about Bryan? Well, he was a classmate.
Like I said, I can't tell you much up until I graduated. That's really all I know.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
You know, it's just like I said, when you know, if I didn't know this person, I would probably be bashing this person as well. But when you actually know this and know the family, and I just feel bad for his mother. I know she, like I said, I just know she was a great woman.
I totally understand where you're coming from, because it to you, it's an absolute shock. To the people you went to school with, this is a shocking. It's like, holy shit.
I mean, the news is coming after people that were, the news is like interviewing people that were 2 years ahead of him that really didn't even know him. And they're just saying that,
they'll do anything to get an interview with him.
Oh, it's insane. I
mean, look, I don't know if you've watched my channel before, but I had the neighbor, Jeremy, on twice, and he was getting hammered as he was the suspect because he talked to the media a few times. Like,
and that's why I haven't, like, I don't want that. I don't need to be that person that wants to be whatever. It's just, if you guys ask me to talk, I'll talk to you. I have no problem. I just
listen,
I don't want to say something that makes me on his side. Everybody thinks, and then now people are looking I'm just kidding.
Retired law enforcement, I totally get what you're saying.
Absolutely.
This is a shock to you that a guy you basically grew up with, even though he was a year behind you.
Yeah.
I could totally relate to what you're saying. Like, somebody I went to high school with that ends up is the suspect arrested in a quadruple homicide across the country.
It would be more alarming if you weren't.
It's like,
like, it would be more alarming if everyone was like, oh yeah, I saw it coming.
Yeah, no, yeah. And I think pretty much everybody that's spoken has said, like, you would never. Yes, I mean, were there little things that were different about him, but nobody would have thought that this was going to be the outcome.
No, like I said,
especially going for his doctorate.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, if you gave me the list of the 500-600 kids that graduated in that school in that year, I could probably point. I could list the ones that I think are capable of this. He would probably be close to maybe last on the list, just because of how academic he was, how like losing so much weight and gaining confidence, and like just seeing him turn his life around. And then to hear this, it's like, what happened? It's
wow.
I don't know.
No, it's honestly great to hear from you, because it really gives gives us a lot to go from, because you're hearing a lot of things, and you don't know which.
And like I said, I just remember, I played baseball in Pleasant Valley my whole life, so we worked out at the gym every day after school. Us, the team. So he would always come in there with. I can't remember his name, but they would always sit over in the corner and work out, and he would come in, work out. And then you just saw over time, he gradually lost the weight, gained confidence, was a different person. And, that's all I really remember. That's why this is so shocking. So if it comes out that he did this, then anybody I ever meet in my whole entire life from now on is possible. Yeah. Is capable of this.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you and your friends have like anyone you're still in contact with from, like, I'm sure you've all like been talking about this since.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, I mean, is there anyone like from your that you went to school with that?
Yeah.
Still good friends with them?
Yeah. The woman that they, so as I told you earlier, Mike, his name is Mike. He was really good friends. I think he still was really good friends with Bryan, throughout high school. I guess after high school, they hung out. And, he told me that they would hang out. Everything was normal. And I guess, I don't think it was too recent, but I'm going to say maybe 5-6 months ago, I think they hung out. Everything was fine.
Spring before the summer.
Yeah.
Because he left in August to go.
Yeah, he came back August 21st.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to give his last name, but him and Mike, I guess, were really close. I'm a lot closer to Mike than I was to Bryan, but I got information from Mike just, because we were talking about, everybody was hitting me up about the news is coming after them. News is knocking on their door. And I'm like, Jesus mighty. Like, I'm just waiting for a knock on my door, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I hear you.
They get those yearbooks, and they're going to go through every name they can.
You said there were 500 kids in each class. That's a
I graduated. Yeah, I graduated with about, I think, 500 and change, or about 600 and change in my class. Yeah, it was
What's the school district called? That's a big class.
Pleasant Valley School District.
Pleasant Valley School District. Okay.
Yeah, and then before that, it was Pleasant Valley, the middle school, which is right next to the high school. So, like I said, I've known him since he was big. He was big, and then he was really shy, and then he, like I said, he just transformed into how he looks now. And
Yep.
So I think if it would have
Did your
stuck
friend
that way,
mention
and
anything about his diet?
Right.
'Cause I know there's a lot that, you know, his aunt that was married to, I guess, his dad's brother.
Mhm.
She's not married to him anymore, but she described like he's like vegan,
Mhm.
and like he also was into like fasting. Like there's like only times of the day he would eat, and there's other days where he wouldn't eat. So
Wow.
you know, he had a very, very strict kind of diet, and
Yeah, I
he
heard.
wasn't even yeah.
Yeah, I
You hear
heard he
anything?
made his parents not only just scrub all the pots as hard as they could at his home when he went home, but he made them all buy new
Yes.
silverware, new everything.
Yeah,
So,
he wouldn't eat out of anything that
Almost like
you know, had
kosher.
meat involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, like I said, that's the stuff. There's stuff that obviously I don't know about him. I didn't know about him that I'm learning now. I just know the person up until I was 18 years old and graduated.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you came on. I
Was he
appreciate it.
particular?
If anybody
like,
else,
and then was he particular? Like, was he like? I mean, did he exhibit anything with OCD or like kind of like?
Yeah. He was very regimented, I guess, if you want to call it that. You know, he wanted to always get good grades, always studying, always trying to. You know, he was just very smart. That's how I would take it. If somebody asked me about him and this didn't happen, I would just say exactly what I'm telling you guys now. You know, he was smart. He was heavy. He lost a lot of weight, gained confidence. And to me, I thought he was going to go on and be a doctor or something like that. And now here we are.
wow.
So
yeah, it's interesting.
yeah. So every day I'm getting messages of people that are talking to, like the woman Ashley yesterday. She called me she texted me after and she's like, "Hey, can I call you?" And she called me and she told me like three newscasters knocked on her door and they shouldn't even know where she lived. And she gave accounts of what she remembers and they kind of twisted it around a little bit, she said. So that's why I'm not keen on talking to the news about because anything I say is not gonna, I don't know if anything I say is gonna help anything, because it's not negative. It's not anything that's gonna.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think just giving just insight into what the person you knew is important.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the same thing that everyone else is saying, because that's what you knew.
Yeah, but like he said earlier, I think people are more scared to talk because they don't want to be labeled as whatever, and then people come after them because they said this. So it's just really, it's a troubling and scary time, because I want closure for, the 4 families, and seeing this person that I knew possibly commit this, it's mind boggling, and it puts you in a different state of mind, rather than seeing somebody you don't know on TV that committed something like this. So, I can't see the chat. I apologize if anybody's, criticizing me from what I said, but
I highlighted some stuff. No, people are saying that they totally, they understand what you're saying. They're like, we would never attack you for, feeling the way you do, which makes sense, No, I got a great group of people that follow the channel.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to follow you from now on. Because this is my first time popping in. I just wanted to see the hearing, because I'm just waiting for, like I'm sure everybody is waiting for.
Hear more.
Yeah, I just want to know what they found.
Yeah, once he gets to Idaho and they give him his arrest, they serve him with the the arrest affidavit. Then the probable cause will be released, and we'll know more within the next 24 hours. We
still won't know everything,
a lot more.
Yeah. But now if he goes there and says that he wants to fight the extradition, then everybody has to wait, I'm assuming.
Well, no, I think as far as we know, he's waived the extradition.
Yeah.
So it's already okay. Great.
Said, even late last night, I think the attorney spoke, and he said that he is willing to waive it, and he wants to resolve this as quick as possible, is what his attorney says.
Gotcha. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming on. And if you know anybody else, you have my email. If anybody wants to come on anonymously,
if your buddy Mike wants to come on.
Yeah, my buddy Mike, like he's just really shooken up and just in disbelief.
I totally get it. I
so
totally get it. Have him listen to this, and if he feels comfortable, we can reach out.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much.
You gentlemen have a good day.
Yeah, hey, thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
Okay, well, what a great live that was that you had with him. So I hadn't seen it until this time, CD, and Adam and that in chat. Yeah, what a great live, regardless, right? I always love insight, because again, like a lot of people are, even after the fact, like, yeah, he was awkward, he was this and stuff like that. But again, it's nice to hear all sides of it, instead of just like everyone has their own interpretation. But like you said, most people know when somebody's this or that. Maybe the females thought he was more creepier than the males. Who knows? Because that was back when he was 18 or back in high school. So great live though, great talk.
Thank you. And because for every person, for every victim, there's just as many people know the killer, or know the suspect, I should say, and until they've committed a crime, that person's just a person the same as everyone else, So it's always nice to hear the insight that someone had about someone before they became the person we all know them to allegedly be.
Yeah. And that Ashley person, I think it was Ashley, news stations will cut, clip, and edit what they want out of the piece.
Right.
And
they have it in Jeremy Reagan.
Yeah, and it comes out totally different than interpretation or exactly, because when somebody talks, you're telling the story more so versus when they cut it and chop it, it's no different really when, like when Groz does that with people and uses clippings and tries to make it seem like somebody's saying this when it was nothing of the sort, and it's when people do stuff like that, but news stations we know do that because they're on a time schedule crunch. They're trying to put the clippings, and those clippings, of course, are not what the person that was interviewed, how they exactly said it. It comes off a different way. So it was nice that, on a channel, it's like I said, it's like you're just hearing him talk. There's no, big editing or nothing like that. It was just a live. And so that, it was great to hear it just raw and fresh like that. So good job, guys.
Yeah.
Lewis, did you have anything to add at all to that? Oh, Lewis,
No,
happy
I found it quite interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine being in his shoes and you knew somebody that's now accused of something like that. And
oh, absolutely. I would still be floored.
Twist your mind around.
Absolutely. Because you're literally probably just sitting there with like dead deer in headlights going, like, I still can't, like, even like now if I had known him, I'd be sitting there going, like, really? Like, this was not the person I knew, or, like, again, it is hard. It is harder in the head. It's one thing if somebody, is in school as a little troublemaker, and yet, they got their sights set on nothing more than, burger flipping or something in their life and something like that, they don't have goals, but, clearly, like I said, Bryan had some goals, worked hard, to do, like he said, to work on what he was going to become and stuff like that, even though who knows what we'll find out about why he did it. But either way, you can tell he was bright, just by even that stuff in the visual snow, someone that's that age and then that's talking with words. You can tell by the words that, obviously he had a very crisp way. Thank you for subscribing, Alpine Gulch. Can I say here? Can you say what?
Angel Darkness, yes, you can.
What did you want to say?
CD had asked her what channel he had previously heard that person on, and
I was curious.
She said, "Can myself. I say here?" And I said, "Of course you can."
Yeah, I was curious myself, actually.
Yeah.
Because Angel had said something like, he was a lot what, nicer or something. Is that what it was? A lot nicer with you guys.
Right. I'm curious if it was the same person because, Chris is the person that we spoke to, and he was, I felt like I felt like everything he said was genuine, and believable.
Yeah.
And he was very respectful and nice to both CD and myself.
Yeah. And it's kind of like me too. If somebody said, "Hey, can I ask you some questions?" Sure. Like you said, I'm not trying to clout chase or whatever this. I'm just, if somebody asks me, obviously I knew You know, I knew him, Mike knew him better or whatever, but same thing. I would do the same thing. You know, even I'm not a person to sit there and look for my 15 minutes of fame.
Right. Angelic, are you referring to I'm assuming you were watching that live then, and are you referring to that he was making comments in the chat section on the live before he joined? Because I'm just curious, only because
attacked? Yeah. Was he being attacked on that live?
Yeah, I wasn't reading the chat, honestly, you know.
No, I think she's saying it to another channel he was on, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Because her original comment was
right. Because I know he was in the chat section of CD's live before he popped on with us, but I was not watching the conversation going on in the chat.
I guess it just depends how that chat was going. If people were attacking him because they want to believe that he's this monster, this awkward, I don't know. I'm curious to know what channel it was on.
Yeah, yeah. I can't see it being CDs but curious.
I don't think. Just going back to it for a sec.
Okay.
What? Oh, okay. What?
Oh, Angela, she had responded there in the here, I'll pop it up. There.
Oh. Wait, unresolved crimes?
I don't know that. I don't know that channel.
Unresolved crimes?
Okay. I'll have to check it out, Angelic, because I'm curious. Because it's not the experience that I had with him, and I assume CD would agree with me. That's not the experience we had, but I will check that out. I'll because always interested to see different points of view.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that channel either. There's so many people that have some similar names.
Yeah.
I just pulled it up, and it's not somebody that I've ever heard of or watched myself. Yeah.
That's one reason that's one reason I did not put the word true crime in my channel, because I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll just be myself. Same with, a crime and shame.
Unresolved crimes, yes, he's a regular on this channel. On this channel?
I think she meant unresolved crimes. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I assumed it was not CD's because I can't imagine CD having invited him on if he'd been disrespectful to people in the chat.
Yeah.
No one would ever do that on that channel.
Never.
Joey. How could you get a word in edgewise?
Yeah, I can see Gray almost sitting there going, well, you're making this guy out to be like he's really nice or something like that. Give us the real dirt, like I can see Gray almost like being it like that. It's either that or else he's going, yes.
Oh, they do a lot of lives on that channel. Okay.
Yeah.
Sonny, how long till your husband's got to get in the bed?
45 minutes, but we're just gonna talk that little bit about Delphi. I wanted to share this screenshot, or let's see here. Where's good old Shreddit Reddit?
I'm sure you already had it, Sonny, but I sent you the most recent. Oh, you already have it. You already got it, I'm sure.
Most recent what?
The most recent thing from Docs Pop.
Oh, the Docs Pop thing. I seen something. I didn't bother.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. That was just the most recent thing from today.
I think I'm looking at it already. Yeah, that thing right there. That's on the 13th, 10 a.m. Courthouse management and decorum order. 10 a.m. Yeah, I mean,
and that's just about, I think, the same thing she did last time with asking everyone, demand, basically kind of like setting the rules for how the court is going to handle the behavior of people in the courtroom.
Yeah. Yep, because on Friday the 13th, people, Richard Allen he'll be in court that day, correct?
10 a.m. and 11. I believe he will be.
Yeah. You know how you think that they are, and then they're really doing via cam and stuff.
I asked someone that, and they said that their understanding is that he will be appearing.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Here, let me actually just.
Same with Bryan tomorrow. I think Bryan will be appearing in the actual courtroom. And my understanding, I guess we're gonna have there's a pool camera for tomorrow, but they're not gonna release it until after.
Correct, they're not allowed to.
Okay.
Correct, they're not allowed to stream. It's not allowed to be streamed live.
And the same with in Delphi, they won't have a camera in the courtroom, but I do know that we have someone that will be in the courtroom, so we should have pretty. They won't be allowed to text or have their phone out while they're in the courtroom, but we should have pretty immediate. We should have a pretty immediate idea of what happened in court on Friday as soon as court concludes.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask Lewis what happened to his? Yeah. Well, Lewis, are you honestly gonna call me out?
Sure.
On what I did?
If you request me to do so.
Right. I put those rumors all over the internet.
I know. I was aiming for the other eye, KB. I swear. I was aiming
You
for the other
get mixed up when you're on camera because you're like.
I know. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Lewis. Refresh anyone that doesn't know why you're Johnny Depp one-eyed.
Sure. Yeah, my right eye stopped responding to moving outward, and there's some sort of nerve damage. They don't know why, but it's one of those things that I just have to wait and see what happens. It's either going to get better partially or it's not going to get better at all. So the eye patch is just so that I can try to focus. Without the eye patch on, the eyes are looking in two different directions. So I'm seeing two different pictures. It's like taking stereo and playing two different songs on each speaker. So each eye is seeing things differently. But I appreciate you guys asking.
Yeah. And yeah, so poor Lewis is just gonna have to sport the one-eyed Jack thing for maybe for a long time. You know what? I think you should bling it. I think you should get some little Lexus gems and bling it. Put an eye actually on it. Go to the dollar store and go buy a fake.
What was that thing they used to have like 20 years ago that you'd use on the denim jackets where you'd put the rhinestones into the denim jackets with it?
Yeah.
Was it Bedazzler or something like that?
Yeah, Bedazzle. So this right here, I wanted. Who sent me this? Somebody sent me it. Can't remember if it was Callie or not. Can't remember. Somebody sent me this. Anyways, thank you very much. And so this is from that anonymous when they're talking about Richard. I'm not sure if you've seen this one yourself, Lewis, or not. So
yeah. Well, I can't tell by looking, but I think it's that Reddit where in 2020 they mentioned Richard. And
yes.
Yeah.
It says, in this part right here, it says, pretty sure they are still surveilling Richard daily, but they won't say anything for the time being. You're right for regular DNA testing, but new familial DNA testing and cops are using all over the place. And then someone says he's a JoJo character. I'm going to think that he's that when he made reference to that myself, I'm going to personally take that as that cartoon or that comic booky or character or whatever I think it's called.
Anime.
JoJo Bizarre. Yeah, it's anime. JoJo Bizarre. Did you take it like when I looked up JoJo character? That's really what came, and it's funny because somebody went all in depth about JoJo this or a wrestler and stuff. I'm gonna keep it simple. I think the person was just simply saying that like weird, bizarre person or whatever. And so again, this was said in 2020 with the name Richard. Pretty sure they are still surveilling Richard. They won't say anything. So do you think they're talking about a different Richard, or that they're talking about Richard Allen?
It's funny because it still links up to the same stuff that came out on Wikipedia and then the other stuff on 4chan. Now this is another spot where they're mentioning Richard the same year time frame. So that really does bring up something as to who the Richard was that everybody was mentioning as being the suspect.
Yeah.
And there's nobody else named Richard that's popped up in this case that's fit as a POI before. So it just makes you wonder who in the background was going around mentioning Richard on almost every platform out there. Just it's intriguing. I'd really like to know who the poster was on 4chan, because I think that was one of the more in-depth ones. But this one here,
yeah,
has some innuendos that really bring that back to light too.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, you know how, I mean, obviously there's people that would have known because Richard obviously spoke and they spoke to him or whatever. Do you think that there's someone basically that came along and kind of like ended up knowing that Richard Allen was that at the bridge that day, and they were kind of just trying to put it out there that they thought it was Richard?
Well, you know, the way law enforcement feels there's more people involved, it makes you wonder who could possibly have been mentioned. I mean, I don't know if this would be somebody that knew about it from when they interviewed him back in 2017. But if there's more people involved, I'd want to know who knew he was involved that might have been in a position to be mentioning this to other people. I mean, that's the side that I think the leak would have come from, not from the law enforcement interview side. I think it would have come from someone else involved, or somebody that knew someone else involved that knew he was there, and they wanted the name out there, but didn't want to incriminate themselves. That's why they wouldn't go for the reward.
You know, yeah. Well, right. No, probably they would get the reward anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the only reason why I think somebody that knew something would be dropping hints like that, is if they felt they were connected to where they would not get the reward, so there's no benefit in going public, or it was a relative or a friend of somebody that was also involved, but they felt it was such a horrible enough crime that somebody needed to look at Richard. And they went on different platforms out there mentioning and dropping his name all within the same year. And it is funny that this all happened after the 19 press conference. So that brings that into play too. When they said they changed directions, we talked to you earlier on, you know, was all these things being dropped, maybe something law enforcement did on purpose too, just to shake the bushes and see what falls out.
Right.
Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, we don't know, of course. So, you know, by the information that, you know, we do know, or by the information that we have, I should say, from our, you know, it doesn't appear that they were back on Richard Allen's radar, or that Richard Allen was on their radar until October of 2022. But, you know, the name Richard being, you know, mentioned, I've heard several different reasons as to why the name Richard was on there, but I don't really pay too much attention to it. Only because, you know, like I said, the affidavit is a legal document, and, you know, they said, you know, that they came back around to Richard in 2021 in October, or 2022 in October.
Yeah.
So I figured that anything about if there was surveillance at him at any point between 17 and 2022, it'll come out in trial. But unfortunately, I mean, you know, it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you've got, like, you know, Facebook, you've got, like, you know, YouTube, you've got TikTok, then you've got Reddit, or Facebook, then Reddit, 4chan, and then it's like, that's, you know, it's wilder and wilder the further you go down the line.
You know, another possibility is in 2017 there was a rumor about text messages on a different phone that were found that mentioned the name Richard. And this could have been somebody taking that name and just putting it out there, but not really knowing who it applied to. They just had a name.
Well, and I know, and we know who who the Richie was.
Yeah.
That was referring to. So yeah, so it could be that as well.
So I mean, there's a lot of pieces that fit. We just don't have enough information as to why the person that was doing this or people that were doing this put that name out there in multiple places all around the same time.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with that fight? I know that. Hey,
I think we're gonna have plenty to talk about in 2 days.
Yeah, I think so too. To be honest with you. So let's wrap this. Oops, sorry guys, I was just doing something.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was doing some banking actually.
Transferring money to me. Okay.
Well, no, I was transferring it to my other account.
My account.
I have a Tangerine and an RBC. So I was taking my Tangerine, transferring it to my RBC. So, well, you see, RBC, little buggers, they stopped. They said on January 6th, we're no longer going to be using online Interact. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Well, I mean, after their international transfer,
and
sorry.
no, so, what am I doing? I'm not even on camera. Sorry, guys.
So Sunny, so are we? So I mean, so that hearing tomorrow morning is at 8 a.m. your time. I mean, are we going to be front and center then?
That's for Bryan Kohberger's tomorrow, right? You're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, hold on a second, because is that one of those ones where we can go on the WebEx?
Well, you said no. I believe. I mean, the video I think is going to be released.
Oh no, right? Because you can't look at it live, so.
But I don't think it'll be a long hearing. But I mean, so are we? I'm assuming we'll see everyone early in the morning. Because the video will come out immediately after.
Yeah. And you know that all those big channels, everyone will be on that as always, of course.
Again, CD, I know it'll be brief.
Yeah. So it might. Hey, you know what can be brief all at once, or you can be wearing briefs right now. To be honest with you.
Wait, how did you know, Sonny?
I know, boxers are brief.
But hey, we know Lewis is in his birthday suit.
I know. He's commando. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I mean, I'm always up for a live. I got nothing better to do, right?
So maybe we'll see you at.
I'll
It'll be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the time of the press conference.
It's not like I have this amazing sleep pattern. You know that I don't.
You got a full 4 hours. You got a full 4 hours today. You're good.
I'm probably lucky if I probably get 3 to 4 hours in a night's sleep.
You got 4 hours in last night. You're good to go. Even if you woke up not knowing where you were.
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up because like my husband's laying in bed because he needs to get up, and sometimes I'm not tired and I just get back up. But it's hard to do things because, like if I'm trying to talk through a piece of a video, it's just like, I don't want, I hate to disturb his own sleep, but sometimes I'm just sitting there going, a thought comes through my head and I'm like, oh shoot, but I gotta go to the computer to do it. Because, so, but anyway, so yeah.
Or does the green screen probably blocks the light from the bed though, doesn't it?
The way?
The green screen, it probably blocks some of the light from hitting the bed.
No, when I'm done the live, the green screen thing comes off. Yeah.
What? Oh, you take it down every night?
Yeah, but my only thing is now that I'm thinking about it, my only thing is that I'm going to be going to my twins' house, but that's not till 3:45.
Oh, you're fine then.
My time, yeah.
I have to go to work. I have to go to work at 1, so you're fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So other than that, you guys, Lewis, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't even know what to say because you're just rolling down the hill now. But yeah, I know that, like I said, it was packed full of whatever, and obviously you're at work and stuff like that. But regardless, it's still the day. It's your birthday, the day
Yeah,
that you were born. Do you know what time you were born?
I don't remember.
Really?
Been a long time.
I get it.
My birth was a very interesting birth. So
I mean,
I was almost born in Germany.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, did you like get shot out and ding, they had to catch you or something? Like,
so I mean, if you were almost born in Germany, I think the question begs that's where were you born?
I was born on the naval base in Norfolk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now my dad was in the Navy. He was on nuke subs. So back then, if you were on nuke subs, you were gone for 6 months at a time or longer.
Yeah.
So when they docked in certain areas, the spouse could visit, even though it was not in the U.S. And we didn't have a naval base in Germany, so they used a German base. And when my mother went over to visit, because she was having symptoms from being pregnant, they were still concerned about inoculations back then. So they kept her in hospital for several weeks and then re-inoculated her before they finally got her released. She came back to the U.S., and I was born on the naval base the next day when she got back.
you know what? I was born to be wild.
I was less than 24 hours away from having dual citizenship. Because it wasn't a U.S. base in Germany, I would have been born on German soil.
I was born to be wild. Lewis, so
my mother wasn't even pregnant, but
yeah.
apparently I was just handed down to.
Yeah.
And then these three wise men showed up. Sorry.
No. I'm laughing internally because I'm like, so this conversation just went southeast, and I'm like, and yet it's two guys that are talking about it, not even chicks. Y'all, night, y'all. Another awesome live. Thank you guys so much. CD, thank you for letting us play that interview. That was really great. I hadn't seen it. You know me. I'm very clear about how much time I spend watching people's lives. And it's not that I don't find you interesting. I do. But usually I'm having my own stuff to do and stuff like that. So it is great when I did get to watch his on here. Maybe I'm just going to have to watch those important snippets on our live, okay? That way I can.
Funny. You're probably like, oh, Aspen's on there. I have to see him enough.
I know that's what's even more pathetic is that like the other day, like Aspen was on, and my intent was to watch, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up and it said streamed 23 minutes ago. So I don't have good like a good track record for staying longer than. I think CDs was probably one of the longest, like 15, 20 minutes the one day on there. And then I'm like, but I can't, I'm not that person that can be distracted by other noises as I'm doing other things. I do, but I'm one of those people that I'm not hearing it. It's like music playing. Like when in the hotel, people would say, doesn't that music bug you? Absolutely not. Don't even hear it.
Don't hear it.
Yeah. I mean, in the one hotel that I worked at in Whitecourt, we freaking had a fish pond thing going off with koi fish in there. Now that thing would become loud. That thing was annoying. But you can still but you could still drown it out. So when I had CD on my iPad, I was like putting it beside me trying to work, and it just becomes that I don't even hear it because I'm too busy and it's like it's not even there. No offense. Yeah. He gets me. He gets me. But anyways, but yeah, I am a squirrel person. I'm just going from one thing to another, and then it's like, oh, nap time, and then sometimes I go to sleep. To your city, does that count?
Sonny, speaking of squirrel, did I show you my mouse pad that I bought?
Got a squirrel on it, I bet. Oh, it's a Ouija board. 13th, the devil inside.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Do you know that there's an app that's a Ouija board app?
No, I didn't.
I played it once few months ago on
Oh,
there. I think was it a few months ago? I think I was asking about Abby and Libby, to be honest. Spell the name, and do you think I remember? You know what? I'm just gonna go recreate that video and pretend like I did it 2 months ago.
I thought you'd like my mouse pad though.
Yeah, that's
You're
cool.
gonna have to be really careful with that, Adam, because as you're working the screen, you're summoning souls.
Oh, I know.
Depths of hell.
Sometimes I look down and it's just going SUNNY.
Yeah. If it does really start moving. Okay. And look at this. This is my an incoming message from my husband. Don't forget 10 p.m. latest, baby. This is my crystal ball. It's almost like a NAD. It's about the size. No, it's bigger than a NAD, to be honest.
So now you have to get a mouse that looks like a planchette.
This right here.
Yeah, you should call a doctor. Let me see the size again.
Yeah. I'm gonna predict our future. I feel like this live is gonna come to an end. I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, it might go left or it might go right or it might go down the middle, but I'm not sure.
3 hours.
I feel like if I hit every angle, then I'm gonna be right somewhere. I don't know. I'm just teasing, of course. Because I actually really like stuff like that. Like I like psychic stuff.
It's
I like
fun.
Oh, you know, right. I know I've had my experience and Adam.
I'm sorry, I put us back up on stream since we're
No. I do love my psychic stuff, and I do like watching those shows and stuff. Like the ghost shows and stuff like that. I just like, I'm a very spiritual person, and I just believe that it's better to believe something than nothing. And we got one little dot of earth, something called earth, like a little freaking pepper speck, and there's got to be so much more out there. I mean, I know there is for when it comes to the other side and stuff, but I'm just mean like, maybe there's like 5-headed atoms floating around another planet somewhere.
God help them if there are.
Yeah. Hey, CD, you want your ball back? If anyone needs
No, he's got 3 kids. He doesn't need it anymore.
Snippet. Yeah.
Can I give a shout out really quick before we go off?
No.
I want to say my little cousin, her name is Connor, and if anyone looks up the new Shania Twain video that came out this week, called "Giddy Up."
Do you mean my sister? You mean my sister Shania?
Yeah, Shania Twain.
That's right.
So my cousin, it won't be hard to spot her. She's in it several. She's in the most of the whole video, but she is in a wheelchair, and so she'll be easy to see who it is. But I just wanted to give her a shout out because I thought that was so cool that she was asked to be in that. And before she was in a wheelchair, she was a dancer, and she's still found a way to make a career out of dancing, even though she is in a wheelchair. So if anyone looks up Shania Twain, the new Giddy Up video,
my sister, yes.
You'll see my cousin Connor.
Oh, your cousin Connor, right?
Yeah.
Aspen Connor.
Well, it's because our family name. So they gave her first name.
Yeah. KB investigates saying she has a Ouija board, and CD says no snippy for me while they are in their tie them tubes. Right. Love the. You know what? This is what gets me. I mean, I'm not sure when you had that done, but it takes 5 minutes for snippy, and a woman has to spend days recovering from an operation that is that really could go wrong, to be honest with you. So for all you men out there that ever watch this, snippy, 5 minutes is an amount that, for all the stuff I could preach this all day, but for all the stuff that women go through, right? For all the stuff that, you guys complain usually about shaving your face, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, could you ever imagine though, and having menopause, having menstrual, having,
You don't think men do?
Well, they do, but it's not. Her choice. I'm sure you were like, that's right, wife, your choice. Yeah, let's do that.
Your body, your body, your choice.
Can you imagine in your head? I'm just thinking that when they say snippy, snippy, that the guy is sitting there like, oh, you can do it?
6 weeks, what?
Yeah.
2 weeks, whatever.
And I want to give another shout out.
We're going south.
Yeah, we're going south. Your guys' pregnancy talk all turned us yellow and stuff. It was nice and green up until that point. It's checking for attitude. Oh, it's back to green again. It was so funny yesterday, Adam. The live went to green after a while for the one last night. And then when I woke up, it turned yellow.
Right. Well, that's that's why we can't. That's why I would like to play the Shania Twain video, but of course we can't. So
can't.
But go check it out.
I mean, you're definitely not going to hear me sing that.
I was like, oh my gosh, Sunny's right there. So
you can cut the audio and play the video.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, but everyone can just watch. You can go see the Shania Twain video. You can. It's easy. She's throughout the whole thing. It's easier, and it's easy to you'll know exactly who she is.
We need to get the full experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good song too.
Okay. Well, I just want to quickly here. Hold on. I'm just gonna quickly do a shout out to that Joe Johnson again before we head off. Where is it? What did I do with it? Oh, it was in the video.
Yeah, you put it in the video. But I believe it was this Saturday night at.
Yeah, but I had it in here as well.
Yeah, I thought you had the clip of it the other night. You put up just the picture, didn't you?
Yeah, this one right here. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so Lewis, as for you, happy birthday, you old fart. As for Joe Johnson, Joe is in the Whiskey Brothers. Their band will be playing in Indiana in Mooresville. No, sorry, am I saying that right? Mooresville.
Isn't that funny? My parents live in Mooresville, North Carolina.
I know. It's like when somebody emailed me one time and they lived in Frankfurt, Virginia or something. And I'm like, oh, that's where my BG's from, but over here. But anyway, so give a shout out to Joe Johnson and Marvin Parrish. They'll be playing live music at the, like I said, the Mooresville American Legion at 350 East Main Street, Mooresville, Indiana.
Deb's hometown.
Yeah, they're playing January 14th from 7 to 11 p.m. Again, that's the Whiskey Brothers. So if you haven't gone and seen them, show your support and love. Maybe give yourself a night out that night.
Lewis, your birthday.
Yeah.
For your birthday.
I forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me.
And that is Deb's hometown.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think the bar.
So I feel like Debs needs to go there. Yeah. I just picture Deb though taking the mic over. She starts singing herself, and she's like bringing back the memories, right? Deb loves to sing.
I've got pictures of her on stage. We all know that.
I just feel like I feel like at her house, maybe not. Deb, do you have a karaoke machine? I'm just curious.
She doesn't need one.
I'm asking for a friend.
Deb actually has a beautiful voice. All kidding aside, but
the karaoke
and those pictures I have of her on stage, there wasn't a microphone, but there was a pole.
There was a pole. I was just gonna say, do you remember that pole that she was sliding down with the microphone as her legs were up in the air?
She's gonna punch
that? You guys remember that picture or that video that we showed, right? Yeah. No, I don't have it. See, I'm amazed. I'm amazed that she doesn't have a karaoke machine with little bouncy ball, for all those songs and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyways, if you guys haven't seen that clip, you're gonna have to go find it back in one of our videos. I just don't remember which one it was. It was like last year or something. Anyways, a shout out again to the Whiskey Brothers.
Yes.
Live music, January 14th, 7 to 11, Mooresville American Legion. I feel like I'm an ad sponsor right now. Thank you. I'm practicing up.
Sorry, read Deb's comment there.
What's it saying? You were thinking of Jenny. Oh my God. You know how you forget about somebody? Well, I've totally forgot about Jenny. Hey Jenny, if you're watching, but you probably are. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. All right. And I'm sorry if you're watching right now, but I'm just gonna say because me and Jenny had a sing off back in the day, and she had me scared. I was thinking, oh, she's got vocals and mine's gonna suck, and and I know mine suck. I'm like, mine's gonna suck. And then I heard Jenny, and then I realized that my voice was peach, Jenny, to yours, and I won that contest. Slam down. That was it. And then she challenged me. I think again. I think we challenged each other one more time on there. But yeah, so I was expecting like this beautiful vocal voice to come out of this person. Didn't happen. Didn't happen that way. Maybe she thinks it did. It didn't happen in my ears that way. I won that contest hands down. Anyways, you guys, you know what? I honestly wish we could do stuff like that on lives. Like, like when I think to have like a New Year's thing and stuff like that. I mean, when I used to be on MS Speak and whatever, we used to in our clan groups, like we used to have like
Okay, were you in a gang or a clan? I'm like, what was this?
Yeah, okay, a clan, like a clan, right? Like it's
I
called.
don't think that the word's not good here.
Yeah, no.
We don't like the word clan.
It was yeah. Okay, well, because on games are called clans.
Yellow again.
I never even thought about it because we don't even think of it that way. But you're right. I suppose. Let me just see if it went yellow. Nope, still green. Okay, we're good. Okay, and so we used to have little sing-offs, when we would sing. We used to have sing-offs when we would sing. That kind of made sense, right? But yeah, we used to have little sing-offs, and like you would just celebrate and sing some songs. And so I would love to do something like that, but you can't. The only time you could do that is if you're singing your own darn music, type of idea. But that's sometimes not the
Better
same.
get to writing.
And well, probably
You rapped once, but
well, I know. But my favorite song is, or no, I shouldn't say my favorite song, but the song that I recall. Get ready for your ears, Deb. Plug them all. 67 people in here watching right now.
I knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah, exactly. But my favorite song. So my original last name at birth is Brown, and so my dad would sing us two songs, and the Sunday morning out in the park. I think I'll take a. What, you literally turned your camera off because you don't want to watch me, or you can watch me? So yeah, I know. But you guys know that song, like on the west side of Chicago, there's the baddest part of town, and if you go down there, you better just beware of Sunny Brown.
Jenny, your mic's not on.
Shut up. I can do better. Okay. But anyways,
bad Leroy Brown?
Yeah, right. Because I'm bad, right. But it's bad Sunny Brown. Because I'm the baddest chick in this whole darn town.
I won't ever make anyone hear me sing. So we all know that doesn't happen.
When you say that, I literally now want to hear you sing because I want to judge you on how those vocals are, because I know that
I don't have any. One of my friends once referred to my singing as the sound of a bird dying. In fact, I got cast in the Wizard of Oz. There's one role in the entire musical that does not sing. Does anyone know what role that is? It's the wizard.
Oh.
There's literally one non-singing role in the whole play.
Hey,
and that was the role I got.
My twin's in the house. She's saying, that's what my twin in chat, by the way, is House and Home Creations. Again, her link for her channel that she's just started is in the description of this video. Anyway, so she's saying happy birthday, Lewis.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. She's probably been stalking me all night. I asked her to come on the live, and she was like, "No, son,
that strawberry whipped cream. Oh, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it all night. You did a great, Tanya. You did a great, or Tanya, you did a great video.
Okay, listen. So right, so we're having this. So I go post her cake making thing to our community tab, right? I think I'm gonna do my sister a solid, and I'm gonna go post it to the community tab, share it to Twitter, so that she'll get more views and get more subscribes, whatever. And so I do this little big write up thing, little big, that makes sense, right? Little big.
Mm-hmm.
I do have this nice little write up, and then it says video is unavailable. So I'm texting her, and I'm like, "What the? Literally just like, why did you take it down?" Right? So I'm like, why would you take it down? It was just fine. And then she ignored my text. Okay, I know she's sitting on that computer.
I want someone to make it for me. I'm not going to make it, but I want someone to make it for me. I want that cake.
Right? Come to Canada. Come hither. And so yeah, so I'm texting her, and she's ignoring me like she's not there. And I'm like, B, I know you're there because you took down that video, which means you're sitting at your computer right now. And then, so anyway, she didn't answer me back. And then so I lay down in bed, and I'm like saying to my husband, like, and then so next thing I know, it uploads again. So, she said YouTube kept turning my thumbnail upside down. Right. So what my sister is trying to say there, even though she totally ignored me last night. So she said,
it was like 4 a.m.
Well, you know, the thing was, and so then I create she sent me the picture, and she said something about the cake being blurry. So I was like, well, send me a picture. So I went to the video because I have the video on my thing, and I took a picture of the cake, and then I turned it into this really beautiful thumbnail for her, but she didn't even set to later. But her issue was, so get a load of this. I've never had this happen before. So her issue is that she took a picture and it kept turning sideways. She said when it was up, like when you put the picture in and then whatever. So I said, well, she's like, I haven't seen this. This thing keeps saying that I've used my thumbnails for today. So I thought she was using, what I thought she meant by that was she was using a free version of Canva, and you can only do so many thumbnails or something in a day. No, YouTube actually said you have reached your limit of thumbnails. Now, I have never seen that message.
And I've changed my thumb. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never seen that message. And she said, well, I did it about 6 or whatever time. 6 probably meant 8 or so. And I honestly ignored my phone when I get home. I'm home, Mom. Okay.
You were 100% natural. I'm not joking. You really were, Tanya.
So,
you were great.
Right, because I'm thinking that she's taking it down, da-da-da-da. And I told her, go watch the live from yesterday. Because, we are our own worst critics because we see every flaw and detail that we're doing. So the cake was too blurry to her. She didn't like herself on the camera type of thing, and we're our own worst critics. So anyways, and I told her, like everyone loved watching it, like that video. It was like great. Like everyone literally wanted to go to your house and eat that cake.
And Sunny gave everyone your address.
I didn't do that. I wanted to though, right? Because someone said that they wanted to come out for Christmas.
But no, Sunny and I actually we were talking earlier when Sunny was playing a video. We both. I was like, oh, I hate watching myself on camera because I never rewatched the lives because I'm like, oh, I would never be able to watch myself. It's horrible. And Sunny was like, oh, I don't rewatch them either. So I'm like, we're always our own worst critic.
Wait, hopefully. Wait, I'm coming over tomorrow. Is there still a piece of cake left, please? I don't care about my diabetes at this moment. And you shouldn't worry about that either. Yeah, honestly, Tan, it was a good video. Lewis said it was very professional for a first video. It did. It was great. And everyone loved your kitchen. I want your kitchen. You can come live in over here, and I'll have the kitchen too.
Wife swap.
Yeah. Wife swap. Yeah. Right. Not with 2 teenagers in the house. But yeah, anyways. So tomorrow, I think we're going to. So my sister just did renovations in her bathrooms. I think we're going to do the remodel. You didn't do it on me already, did you? And so I think we're gonna go put her pictures and create a video about based on the remodel of the bathrooms and what she kind of needed to buy, blah blah blah. What is CD? I told you. We'll look at the P channels after. CD's always trying to show those triple X videos in here. It's almost like one of those little spammers that comes in, with the flashing yellow and red. Let me see what CD's trying to do.
XX. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Susie.
Thank you very much. I just like hearing the music.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys. As soon as that music comes on, I'm just like,
right.
Who are
And,
you guys?
and to anyone that doesn't like that song, I apologize for putting it in my TikTok video that then led Sunny to add it to the channel because she loves the song.
Oh my god! But as soon as I heard it, I'm like, how did I forget about this song? Yeah. I want to go see. I think I need to.
It's memory loss because you're getting old.
CD, you only drop it in the closet.
Let's see. I'm just trying to find CD's
3
link
kids,
that was
I get
trying
it.
to show. CD,
3 kids, you gotta go where you have to go.
What's CD trying to show?
I think it's the full video that he was putting out. He was just putting the link for everyone so they can watch it.
Oh, Kohberger, it's really sad what happened to the victims. He's setting the link. What? Do you want me to play it or something? I got 6 minutes. Does he want me to play it? Oh, it's 2 hours ago?
It's News Nation. It says Kohberger's defense attorney suspect helped draft public statement.
Well, let's just play it.
Okay, and then we can go. That's actually perfect timing. It's 6 minutes long.
Yeah. Okay, perfect timing. And in my big screen right now. Anybody love you, sis? Don't forget. So I'll be at your house. You'll pick me up at like 3:45. 3:45. Bryan's defense attorney speaks. Yeah, why not? Right? YOLO. Let's do that. Okie doke.
Defender who represented Kohberger immediately after his arrest. What have you learned?
Yeah, this was interesting, actually, because last time we saw the public defender in Pennsylvania, Jason Labar, he was with Kohberger in court. I was in the courtroom, but he had not seen the 18-page probable cause. So now he has. I asked him what he thought about it, and he says he thinks there are holes in the probable cause. He is questioning the phone pings. He says that those pings are not specific GPS coordinates, and he says the defense can have a field day with those pings, calling them out. He is also questioning the description of Kohberger from the surviving roommate, that description that she says was, the man who is about 6 feet tall and the bushy eyebrows. He says it's just not specific enough. And then I asked him about the statement. Remember that statement that he initially put out right after Kohberger was arrested? Very interesting. Kohberger had a lot to do with that statement. Listen to what he told me. The statement that you released from Kohberger, where he, said that he was innocent, essentially, did you write the statement with him? I don't know if you can share how that statement came about.
The statement came about Friday night when I talked to him, and then I went out to the jail at 5 o'clock. I know there was a lot of people, a lot of news media outlet at the jail at that time, but I knew it was dark out, so I could essentially sneak in under the cover of dark and be able to talk to him without anyone knowing that I was actually there. And I spoke to him for about an hour. I let him know about the statement, that I wanted to get a statement out there because with all of the news media, I knew there was going to obviously be issues as far as him receiving potentially a fair trial. People jumping to conclusions, automatically you worry about the presumption of innocence and the integrity of the criminal justice system. So I said, Bryan, is it okay if we get a statement out? And that's when he brought up the eager to be exonerated language. And obviously that was included in the statement.
So that was him. That was him who wanted to put that in.
The eager to be exonerated was the language he used. we put it in the statement. But obviously, when I talked to him about the eager to be exonerated, to me, when we talked about it, it was more or less he was asserting innocence, but that's the language he used.
So very interesting, Ashley, that Bryan Kohberger, is the one who came up with those words, eager to be exonerated. Mr. Labar also said he does not believe that Kohberger can get a fair trial here in Moscow, Idaho. He believes that this trial will likely eventually be moved to another jurisdiction.
Well, I think Mr. Labar, it brings up a very good point. This is the kind of thing we have to deal with every time there's a high-profile crime and a high-profile defendant. Every time we've covered a Casey Anthony or an O.J. Simpson or a Jodi Arias, there's the issue of how to pick a jury where everybody knows everything about the case. And by the way, you can, because they all had fair juries. They all found juries in those cases. So it will be difficult, granted. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about this hearing tomorrow. It's so hard, Bryan, to find out any information with the gag order. But we do know one thing, and I don't know if it's telling, they had to move the time. Was there some security issue or some particular reason why all of a sudden the docket changed and the time for his appearance changed?
It's a good question, and you mentioned it. Because of the gag order, we can't call up the defense, or we can't call up the prosecutor. We can't even call up the police. None of them are allowed to talk to us. But yes, it's now been moved to 8 a.m. We're told by the courts, they actually put out a release today saying that they believe that it will be short and mainly focused on scheduling. Likely both sides are going to talk about when exactly they want to have a preliminary hearing.
So maybe that's the reason that Steve and Christy Gonzalez, as News Nation learned exclusively tonight, are not going to be in that courtroom. They're going to follow this by Zoom. I think, thank God for them, the overwhelming emotion that it takes just to get dressed in the morning, that you have to look across the courtroom at the man who's accused of killing your baby. So the curiosity of the 8 a.m., it's such a small courtroom. And last time there was this long line. I saw you and so many other journalists. And then there's the public. It's a public process. Do we know if the public's going to be let in again, or if they're going to have to do a huge organized, line to pick the first 10 and that's it?
Yeah, it seems the public will be let in. You mentioned it. There were just two women I just met out here right before your show started who said they're going to be here tomorrow morning trying to get in the courtroom. I'll probably get here at least 2 hours early to line up. Because there was such a long line last time, and it's a small place. I mean, it's a small jail, and it's a small courtroom, so they can only let in so many people.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation.
When she said hit the like and subscribe at the end, she was referring to this channel right here. She said, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button.
Wait, which one, Sonny? There are like 4 or 5 channels in between it.
Yeah, this one. And I'm pretty sure she said, did you guys hear her say it's a crime and shame here?
I did. It was in the closed captioning.
Yeah, hey, it was. I'm just going to quickly. So my sister needs to wait until the thing stops saying, probably after midnight, till it stops saying you've reached your thumbnail limit.
You can still put it out, but you can still put the video out and then just update your thumbnail.
Yeah, it's on private, I think, right now. Exactly. I told you the same thing. But
I would put it out and get the views.
Well, no.
Because people are going to want to watch it now.
You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me.
Never.
Because you know what happens with those is that it will pick some random picture throughout the video as your thumbnail, and you could be sitting there going, type of thing.
And you know what? And the short is the worst, because on a short, you can't go back and change it.
Nope.
It's the worst.
Yep.
You think you said it? Like, I did one that was a good one, and then couldn't go back, and it's a horrible thumbnail.
Yeah. Don't you hate it when it does that? Yeah. That's why you kind of got to make it so that it's like.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
So that's my twins channel right there. She'll again. She has a strawberry shortcake one with Hershey Kisses in it on top. Yeah.
My birthday's in July.
Our birthday is in July, Adam.
Yeah, but Shelby's right too, because they're far enough apart. It would be stale by mine.
Yeah. True. I mean, did you say that there was a piece of cake left for me?
No, she said no, not with 2 teenagers in the house.
Come on. Is that what she said?
Yeah.
No way. That huge cake that
She
you
said
made.
not with 2 teenagers in the house.
So,
House of Home and Home Creations. I'll make you. What do you want? I'll make you whatever you want. I'll make you a millionaire.
yeah. With Monopoly money.
Trying to help Sunny become one.
Yeah. Right. And we're working great at that, right? Oh, well, we did get a $5 coffee today. Thank you very much to Verbal Judo for that. Tanya, just from even talking about you, actually she had sent a PayPal. I think there was 2 PayPals.
Wait, Sunny. Tanya and I are having a moment. She said, "Yes, please."
I think she's hogging the chat. In fact, I think it's a troll. All I'm seeing is, I mean, she's even out doing Streamlabs. Can you see this? I mean, she's making Streamlabs look good.
Speaking of milking, it's Louis' birthday. Not here. Well, actually, no, it's not. Not anymore. But we can say
it is
we
here.
can say happy birthday one more time.
Yeah, fine, bye. Yes, just as a couple people are coming in, we're leaving. Anyways, you guys, thanks again for the live today. There was, like I said, a lot that we went through at the start of it. You guys know I don't do timestamps. You guys can scroll through it for 17 minutes.
I gotta figure out how.
Yeah, it's not hard. Oh, yeah, right. We're still trying to figure out how. Yes, we don't know how yet. I mean, I can do a lot of things, but I don't know how to set a timestamp. All right. So anyway, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much.
Deb.
Deb, she's basically saying, you know what?
We said $5.
She's like, that's not really for you guys. I'm only doing it to look good in front of Tanya right now. Is that how it went? Something like that. Oh,
Thank
look,
you, Deb.
Adam. Deb sent. Deb gave. We have to wait for the music. Husband sent me the message going, baby.
Look how many people are in chat, Sunny.
69.
Deb's True Crime Notebook Super Chat. $4.
That's for you, Deb.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Lewis, happy birthday, CD.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Subscribe to my sister. And
you never know. I might pop up on CD's channel again in the next week.
CD doesn't ask me to come on.
We've got a little thing going, Sunny.
He did once, and then he never. I don't know. Isn't like he's not like Sunny, Adam. Can you guys both come on? Am I too much for you, CD? Is that what it is? I'm just gonna call you out right now. Am I too much for you? I mean, I would think that you would treat your online wives a little better, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys. Take care. Love you, Dad.
See you in the morning.
Happy birthday, Lewis. And
yes,
we'll see you in the morning. Take care, guys.
Have a great night. Good night.
Happy birthday, Liz. I hope that you had a good day.
Oh,